You put it out there, we see it, we have a criticism or critique of it, good or bad, and then we move on to the next story. I ain't living in that shit.
Well, for us, hold on, are we live? Okay, listen, welcome to another episode of Off the Record Podcast. I am so elated to be here. You know, if I was thinking about, again, the Avengers of the blogosphere together, getting the most messiest individuals in a room, the short list of people who I feel like their opinion, their outlets, their endeavors in media not only control but also dictate what the entire industry does, from what rappers feel to what fans feel. This guy would definitely be in my list.
You'd be Captain America.
No.
Listen.
Hey, listen.
When it comes to fearless, I mean, like, and don't care. Now, see, we see these interviews, but y'all got to go check that Twitch. You are reckless.
That is true. But right now we are here live and in color on Off the Record. I got my man Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked here. We got so much messy shit really to get into, but I do want to kind of bring it back, and I want to start when I first start seeing you, and I kind of want to get the history a little bit just off of the fact that I remember at first I was just like, I remember you were on a reality show, and I remember you were like, "Yo, listen, I'm like the number one guy." I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I just
my first episode, and my platform wasn't even built. I was building it while I was taping that. It wasn't even built.
Okay, give me the history of how you came on the scene. Obviously, by the way, salute to you for building up Hollywood Unlocked. It's definitely a force within the media game at this point. But when I first saw you, I remember seeing you on
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. And I remember saying, are they just making this shit? I'm like, this dude just said he's like the biggest guy in the media right now. What's going on?
Yeah.
What happened? How'd you even get on there?
You're the first person to ever bring that up.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, and this is why I fuck with you, right? First of all, by the way, we're going to get into him calling me the gay guy because he didn't reference me being gay a couple times, which I am. But a lot of you watching are too. Here's the deal, right? When I decided I was going to do Love and Hip Hop, I literally said I wanted to be in the space of what Angie, because Angie at the Shade Room was a good friend of mine, Robin, Baller Alert were friends of mine, and I saw what they were doing. I was like, yo, I want to get in that space because I see the boom and I see the .com and whatever, but I was thinking about it from how can I make millions of dollars from this shit from the beginning? And so at the time while I was trying to figure it out, and nobody was really trying to help me except for Angie and Robin, I met Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd was like, yo, you ill, you reckless. I'm like, you think so? Because I would just ask questions people would think, not thinking about how it feels to be asked the question. Because I'm like, okay, Floyd said first question, ask me anything you want. Why you keep running from Pacquiao? Like, niggas is waiting for this fight. Yeah. That was my thing.
We gotta get to you and Floyd. You have a really good relationship.
That's my brother, yeah. And so when I saw his reaction to it and everybody around like, ooh, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, what you mean you can't? That's a question all your friends are asking.
Yeah.
So he said, you know what? You're going to be the Floyd Mayweather of media if you really lock in and do what you say you want to do because you ill. But he said, you got to be obsessed with it. And being number one is a mentality, not a fact. That's what he told me. So when he said that, I was like, being number one is a mentality, not a fact. Okay, cool. I'm the best.
That's a fucking quote.
I'm the best. Because I used to challenge him, like, people say Tyson better. People say Muhammad Ali's better. He said, who said that? Because I got more money than that. My legacy, I got my faculties. I'm the best. I'm the best ever to me, TBE. That's who I am. So I'm the best ever. So who going to argue with me? Nobody can argue with me. So who can tell you that they better than you? I started naming names. He was like, why are they better than you? Because your mind has already said to believe they're better than you. But if you start leading with, I'm the best ever, then your whole career, people are going to be trying to prove that you're not. Meanwhile, you got them talking about you. So I came in, first thing was like, yo, I'm the this or that. I didn't feel that way. Shit, you know what I mean?
No, you played it off pretty well.
I played it pretty well.
Yeah.
I was insecure as hell, but I was like, yo, Floyd said to say, then once I kept doing it, it's like a muscle. I kept believing it. And then my belief turned into confidence. Then my confidence put me in rooms where I was like, yo, you can't tell me I don't belong here, even though sometimes I felt like I didn't.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it was just like, I do belong here. You know what I mean? I don't, in real life, I don't say, I'm the best, I'm better than him, because I see you killing, I see Vlad, I see Charlotte, I see everybody. I'm like, yo, I have a respect for everything that y'all do. So I'm like, yo, I be around some of these people, even today at Coast and Breakfast Club, I'm still kind of intimidated being in that room because I'm like, this is the Breakfast Club.
It's like a natural. Yeah, I was watching some segments today. I watched how you delivered the Drake versus Joe thing. I watched how you delivered, and by the way, I thought it was seamless how you would report, but also kind of have a POV and transition.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you didn't seem nervous at all.
That was the one I was nervous about. The other ones that were Caitlyn Jenner, you rubberneck.
I see that.
You
too.
rubberneck. That I could whatever. But like Drake, because I knew Drake before he started rapping. So I've watched his career. Like when he told me on MySpace, we were texting on MySpace. This is how far we go back. I messaged
Drake wasn't on no fucking MySpace.
When I met Drake, he was an actor. One day I'm on MySpace. I go to my friend's MySpace page. The song is a Drake song. Fire, and it said artist from Toronto. I then messaged Drake on MySpace like, yo nigga, somebody's like saying that they're Drake in Toronto. They tried to steal your swag. Who is Drake in Toronto? He was like, that's me. I was like, you lying. He was like, no, I'm in the studio with my mentor Lil Wayne right now. I'm about to drop my first mixtape. It's gonna be a classic. Then he dropped his mixtape. Then I've watched his career over the years just excel, and just like watching him turn into Drake. I haven't been able to really criticize the music because I'm so proud of him. So I kind of sit back, like, even though we see each other now and it's all love, but like we don't have the relationship that we did then, talking all that. But it's just an admiration for like watching his growth. To see somebody say I'm going to be the best, like when I said I'm going to be the best, to watch them do that, I'm nowhere near where he is in terms of influence or impact or money. But like when I look at him, I'm like, this nigga literally said he was going to do it and did it. And he's done it without having to have a whole bunch of like now you see like a lot of the artists, they want to be on Akademiks. They'll attack you, but come on, man.
Hey, that was one of the craziest mind fucks I realized. The people that go against me the most really just wanted to be represented and liked by me the most.
Because not really, because the recipe for them selling albums is to be talked about, to have conflict. Because if they get in a fight with you, guess what? Hollywood Unlocked's gonna post it now.
Yeah.
Sharon's gonna post it. They know the recipe. You're the bad guy, but really, you're the reason why they can go to sleep at night in them houses, because that's how they're cashing their checks. So when I realized this symbiotic relationship we have with the artists, like every artist watching saying, fuck them two niggas, we have a relationship with you. You choose to participate or not. How you choose to participate or not, it's your choice, but we still gonna do our job.
Hey, by the way, so Drake told me something one time, and I know people kind of accuse me of like being like a Drake fanboy, which I love his music. I'm sorry. He told me something. This was in 2018. And he said, I think sometimes you embrace the role as the villain so much that you forget that you're a good guy operating with good intentions. It's like you're gonna embrace the bad things and be like, okay, yeah, you're right, I'm whatever. And I thought about it, I'm like, if you think about my career, I don't know about yours, like these days when I walk into, even today, when I walk into rooms, I kind of walk in there thinking people are not gonna like me.
I do too.
Like I'm usually a little standoffish because me and this one guy, Sue's my boy Speedy from Complex. I think I've told the story before. We worked at Complex together for years. Walked past each other, never talked to each other. And a lot of that was me thinking, I think he doesn't like me.
Speedy?
Yeah.
Speedy Norman?
Yes. I was just like, yo, because I was just such the person who I've seen people who I interacted with, then I get on Twitter and I see them just shitting on me.
But was he shitting on you on Twitter?
No, he never did.
But you just thought.
But I'm always like psychoanalyzing people like, what do you think in your mind about me? Do you think what everybody else is saying?
But there's nothing wrong with that. Just today on The Breakfast Club, they do this thing where like fans can call in. I'm waiting for this fan to say some crazy shit. Yeah. So Charlamagne and Envy go, damn, Jason, loosen up. Why you ready? I said, I'm always ready. You gotta be. Why? Because once you let that guard down thinking it ain't gonna happen, that's when it happens. It's not like you go in wanting to be the bad guy. I walk in events, Drake, I'm in London, smoking hookah with my friend. My friend is one of Drake's trainers, and he says, hey, I got this club. They're gonna give me a table. You wanna come? Shout out to Hollywood Hino. He said, yeah, let's go. He said, I'm gonna go to the hotel and get ready. I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the hotel in a minute. So while I'm on my way to the hotel, he calls me and says, Drake's having a private party at the hotel. I'm like, did you tell him that you invited me? He's like, you've known Drake since before he rapped. I know the story. You cool. I said, but did you tell him that you're inviting me to his private party where there's going to be girls and other celebrities and whatever they do in private time? Even though one of my rules is whatever happens in private time is private.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you good. You with me. Okay. I pull up, got two of my friends with me, get to the door, and the security's like, and I'm like, hey, like he invited me. So he says, he cool? He said, yeah, he's with me. So I walk in, I see Drake. Drake is standing in the middle of the room and there's nobody, because we're early. And Drake's standing there, and as soon as he sees me, he goes, oh, fuck. And I go, I don't think I ever told
What are you thinking of that?
And I go, Drake. And he's like, man, I walk over and he just hugs me. It's like an embrace, like my nigga, like, but it's also like, why are you here? You know, and he goes, yo, man, he goes, you know, niggas is gonna feel uncomfortable with you here. I forgot I dropped the Tristan Thompson story and their friends. I forgot, like me and Lewis Hamilton had just had an issue. So like, I'm like, I'm cool. I said, here, you want my phones? I hand him my phone. You can have my phones for, you know, he said, no, I trust you. He goes, it's so crazy. People be talking about you like you, the bad guy. And I said, yeah, people be talking about you like you the best rapper ever when we just Drake and Jason. So he was cool. I went and had drinks, whatever. But then as the party started filling up, I start feeling that anxiety because then here comes Lewis Hamilton, who I gotta have words with. Here comes, you know, all these different people that we write about, and I don't even be right. I've not written one story on Hollywood Unlocked, but I forget what all my team has written. So I'm like, what did they write about? This?
Hey, at this point, I know people on your team, or like I know the names. Like I look at the article, I'm like, it's Keisha.
Well, no, at first we weren't Keisha. Yeah, Shout out to Keisha. That's the one that be doing all the dirt. She's out here in New York. She a New Yorker.
Yeah, she wrote an article on me today. I was just like, yo, I was looking like Mariah, the scientist, just threw me. I'm like, oh, what did I do?
But like while I was on the way over here, I saw that in the notes, and I'm like, yo, what did he do to Mariah the scientist?
I was right. I was back in sex fair, but
no. So like with Drake, but he didn't kick me out the party. But the thing about it is like I do feel that, and it's not because. I don't know if it's because every day I am the bad guy when a story goes out. It's all my fault. But like, what part in it did y'all play? This is literally what you're doing. We're just talking about it. But then when we stop talking, we getting calls from your team saying, why aren't you talking about them? What you want? Because you don't get to control the story. You can control if we talk about you, what are you doing or not doing? So I just find this thing where like I'm always on edge, not on edge, but like I'm always prepared to be labeled the bad guy, or even how we started this interview, messy. I don't even feel like I'm messy. I feel like I know that I'm called messy, but I feel like my opinions are honest. They're transparent. Sometimes in a world of like cancel culture and being fake and not being real, because real is rare, then like, why would you say that? So-and-so wouldn't say that. Well, so-and-so will get fired if they say it. I can't get fired. I sign my own checks. It's all mine. So like, yeah, I guess I'm different.
And I remember when I first started on this journey to, you know, and I call what you do independent media. What I do, we're independent media. Oh, I'll say moguls. Yeah. You get what I mean? Yeah. And I remember this one rule I told myself. I said, listen, if you could be controlled or bought, your opinion doesn't matter. And I think that's why people like you and me, it is like people get a little tensed up when you come in the room. And it's the reason why we kind of also have to grow that, like, not only thick skin, but that defensive mentality, because they know that someone like you may have given an opinion that is not in line with them. One thing and you know, we kind of operate in kind of like parallel but intersecting worlds, because I usually keep it mostly about rap, and you usually keep it really about people involved in this urban, you know, celebrity sphere. Especially about rappers, they love you when you're saying the great things about them.
Right.
Oh, yo, you a real nigga. You know how many times I've heard that?
Right.
Because I'm saying something which, you know, at the time that is true. It's complimentary. Mm-hmm. The moment you critique, yo, bro, like, yo, what's up with you? Like, and it's always, you know, I had to pick early on. Are you gonna be friends? Like, relationships is a thing, and this is why I probably don't go out that much. But I see, yo, you mixy, bro. To the point I'm like, I never got invited to a Jason Lee party. Like, what's going on?
Okay, so now when we start inviting you, first of all, let me tell you, I text Akademiks one day and it was green. I'm like, I know this nigga don't have an Android, but like, but we're connected now. No, you know what? Cardi uses that word mixy, not necessarily with me, but she used to say, yo, you mixy. Am I mixy? I mean, I'm outside.
You're mixy, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm mixy too.
Are you?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Because we never see you outside.
Okay, no. Oh, not mixy. I guess messy, probably.
Okay.
So I'll tell you why. You see, when I'm listening to you, and this is why I'm always shocked by this. For example, and we're definitely gonna get some Nicki stuff. So years ago,
and before we do, let me first start saying, I didn't ask to talk about Nicki. I'm going to respond to questions about Nicki. That's
you where her fans, man. Fuck her fans, man.
Oh no, fuck them. Yeah. I'm just saying this is usually where it goes left, because they then take it as this thing where it's a Nicki hate train. The facts are the facts. It's not a hate train.
So I wouldn't even start with Nicki. I'll start with Meek.
Okay.
I think this is what makes people like us unique, right? Is that, you know, and I realize the angle I play in the game is I'm always willing to take the veil down from what people see the industry is. For example, like I consider you're like an insider, and when I listen to you, you will bring up things and say things that the average media personality or blogger won't say. Mm-hmm. Number one, they don't have the access. Mm-hmm. Number two, they've never been around. Number three, they're kind of scared to even speak on some of these things.
Because they'll lose the relationship.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I've heard you bring up situations, and I have too. Like, for example, I remember when, you know, the height of the Meek beef with Drake. Like, a lot of tactics that was going on, like, for me, I was just like, you know, if I was a fan, I would love to know what the fuck. Like, obviously, I'm not like, if you tell me like this is a secret, and sometimes I think people get that misconstrued between like, you know, media personnel, like, hey, if he comes here, he's gonna be telling everyone's business. Yeah. No, but it's like certain things that are just intuitively relevant to the conversation, but just usually never get said. Yeah. I'm gonna let people know. I'm gonna give context to that shit.
Right. Facts.
I'll tell you the whole Nicki thing for me. Mm-hmm. It was the most random thing. And by the way, I've given her way harsher critique before she ever like reached out to me. I remember she had this song called like "Looking Ass Nigga" with like her posing like Malcolm on the cover.
That's like my favorite song of hers.
Really?
I love that song. You don't like it?
No, it wasn't a song. It was just like it was tasteless on the cover. You get what I mean?
Okay, I didn't see the cover of the package. I love the video. I thought she looked great. I thought she was talking her shit.
How don't you like Nicki? That's
I like Nicki. I've said it multiple times.
You like Nicki as a person or as an artist?
I like Nicki as an artist. I think as an artist, I posted on my Instagram the other day because I know Lil' Kim, I know Cardi, and I know Nicki, and I know all the girls. But I was saying like, how old are you?
32.
See, I'm 46. So like, I come from an era where like I've known Queen Latifah 30 years. So knowing Queen Latifah 30 years, she bring you around TLC, she bring you around MC Lyte, Yo-Yo. You start to meet Lady of Rage. You meet all these different girls. Marvelous, like, because Marvelous, Sibo, all of them are from my area. So like, as I grew up in like the streets of Stockton and then eventually to LA and in the industry, I've been around for a long time. So I've seen the evolution of female hip hop. I've met Lauryn Hill. I've seen, you know, the impact of Lauryn Hill and the Fugees, and I've watched all that evolve. And so like to see like Lil' Kim hardcore album come out, know the impact it had, because it was like, yo, ain't no fucking female rapper rapping like that. Mm-hmm. Then you saw Foxy, then it became a Foxy Kim, then Charlie Baltimore, because everybody, once you know how the labels work, once you have one, they need to find something to compete with that. So as they started to change female hip hop, and at first this super male dominated genre, then here come these women doing it in a different way. Then it was like, yo, so once I saw that, then you see Nicki, you're like, okay, for a long time it was Kim, Foxy, Remy, whatever. Then it was Nicki, and then when Nicki came, she held the torch by herself. For whatever reason, the industry, there was the Azalea Banks, the Iggy Azaleas, everybody trying to compete, but it was Nicki Minaj, and she held that for a long time. And then here comes Cardi. So I said on my Instagram the other day, I said, for those of you that don't know, Lil' Kim is the blueprint for this type of rap. Lil' Kim went through a very difficult time where like the whole industry as a whole, because remember, Tupac had C. Dolores Tucker trying to shut him down. Then you had people saying that what she was doing was demeaning to women and this and that. So she went through a whole battle for women being respected in that way in hip hop, and then with mainstream media. And then you had you know, for whatever reason, the resurgence of all male hip hop shutting women out. Then you come Nicki holding it down with every male icon, and then Cardi came and was a breath of fresh air. She was a little different than Nicki, and then people embraced her, and that's where Nicki couldn't handle it. And then you started seeing other women come up, and then like it became this whole, if you down with Nicki, we can't fuck with Cardi. If you down with Cardi, we can't fuck. It was this weird
it's like
shit.
Sides, pretty much, right? That's
driven by Nicki's side. Because Cardi has collaborated with anybody that makes sense and that she fucks with. Like she ain't.
I've thought so as well, but sometimes I feel like, and you know, I keep up with all that stuff, but sometimes I feel like, am I not giving Nicki like a fair rep? Because her fans always act like, you know, she's always the victim. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. I do believe like that, you know, hey, it's either this or that. It's not both, or it has to be, you have to dislike this person if you like this person. I definitely thought she kind of like played more into it. But I'm wondering if I'm not like giving her more of an understanding.
No, I think when Nicki first started, there's receipts of her giving Kim her props. There's also receipts of Kim saying that there was a time where she was brought in to do music and then Nicki took her style or whatever. I mean, I don't know all those intimate details, but I will say, like, if you criticize Beyonce, her fans are not going to attack you. If you hate on Beyonce, her fans are going to attack you. There's a difference between criticizing someone's behavior or a decision they make or a song they put out, and then versus us like criticizing a person who like will like hate tweets about certain girls or somebody who does certain things or makes certain moves to undermine another woman's success, because we already know females in hip hop over the years have had a really difficult time really competing with men until there was that breakthrough of Latifah getting up there and getting the Grammy for UNITY, and then seeing these other women just break through and just start to create lanes for themselves. So anytime you see a female in hip hop uplift other women, ladies' night, whatever, I mean, those are anthems that help to bring unity among women in a genre that's dominated by men. So, you know, I look at like Nicki could have really, why do you have to always be the queen? Everybody's a queen. I could look at Queen Latifah's, she was on Hot 97.
Barb's ain't gonna like that shit. There's only one queen, always.
Well, there's one queen whose crown is tilted, but that's because she's a hater.
Hey, yo.
And that's just a fact.
Let me ask you this question. So, as I kind of sit back and I really, you know, I think some people really believe, I always tell people, I'm like, whether we're talking about Meg or we're talking about any of these people, some people actually, like, people underestimate how big of an ego I have. Like, people are like, yo, Tory must have paid you. I said, the moment Meg said something at me, fuck Tory. It's now I'm going to, like, because I got to stand on my own credibility and reputation. And I learned, like, there was a long time in this industry where I felt it was the popular thing to shit on Ak. And as my platform grew and I really grew into myself, I said, stop that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't care who it is. But
that's what they're secretly afraid of. Once you step into your power and you know it, like, you know the pulse. You got your finger on the pulse and you know how to move it. That's when the energy starts shifting.
Yeah.
And there was a time in my career where that happened too. And you know what? Once Nicki told me that I was a cocksucker on Queen Radio, that was my decision of when, okay, so now here we go. And then I think somewhere along the line when she thought she married this man that all of a sudden I was going to stop having opinions. Not while you're on probation and can still go back to prison.
Wait, okay, right before we get to that. So with Nicki, this is by the way, Drake's my favorite rapper. I've never met him.
You never met Drake?
Never met. Actually, I almost met him, but like I was too drunk, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, here's the thing. I don't feel like I'm missing out because I'm a fan of his music. I don't really know him as a person, and I might not be a fan of him as a person. Nicki was the first person in this game that what I thought the perception of her was through music and so other or whatever we saw, you know, through her celebrityhood. When I interacted with her, I saw a nasty person. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, and you know, I'm pretty honest. That may have like just really turned me away from really ever seeing her in that other light again. Mm-hmm. She was super nasty. Again, I'll give you my story. I reported this. She's going through a breakup with Meek. And a lot of people, the barbers are like, hey, or like really this narrative is like, hey, Meek is done. He's already beefing with Drake. Nicki's leaving him. He's finished. And I actually said, you know what? This might be good for Meek because I think he was feeling comfortable being with her. He needs to, his core is rapper, like fans who love when he raps. He's not going to have a chip on his shoulder that he's going to have to go extra hard. Him losing it with Nicki, it's not the end of the world. It was so ironic. It was so random. I remember Charlamagne calls me and says, yo, what'd you do to Nicki? I was like, what are you talking about? It was like, yo, Nicki's calling around trying to figure out like, yo, where you work at this and that. I'm like, what? I'm like, whatever. Okay. I remember, you know, I'm doing my YouTube videos. I'm mentioning her in commentary. She DMs me. She says, yo, I could probably read it verbatim, but she had went on Joe Budden's podcast before, and she thought that my critique about her was only because of how she talked about me then. She called me like his sidekick on Everyday Struggle. Mm-hmm. That wasn't really it. I was really believing these things I'm saying. But then she got like super personal. She's like, yo, what do you live at?
In the text?
You want to see it?
Oh, no.
I'll show you. You don't got to read it. You want to see it? Like, okay. No, you know the bar. You know when I put that up, because of course I'm like, you're not about to be the top rapper in the game and threatening me, and everybody think you're a fucking darling. And then,
did you ever share it?
Huh?
Did you ever post it?
Yes, they said it was fake. I'm gonna pull it up.
So you're not blocked on her account right now?
Nah, you blocked?
I'm blocked.
Oh shit. I follow her. It's all good.
You follow her too?
Of course.
See, the thing about it is, the Barb's watching, or whoever watches, or if Nicki watches this, I don't hate Nicki Minaj.
Yo, 2019. You can read it yourself or read it out. I don't care.
You've been mad since September 9th, 2019. You've been mad since I made a joke about you with Joe on my show. The people you rep won't be able to stop your jaw from getting broke. I know too much about your family for you to be playing with me, you hoe ass rat. Where you at now? And then you laughed and said noted with the thumbs up. And she said, where you at? And you said, New York. As I said before, your threat is received. LOL. We'll see each other at some point, I'm sure. Take care, babe. Babe?
I gotta say, take care, babe. Come on,
babe.
Come on, yo.
That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting.
Am I gaslighting?
That's gaslighting as
Take
fuck.
Care, babe.
Take care, babe. And take care is a Drake.
On, Take Care, babe.
A Drake album cup.
No,
name?
no, come on, no.
Yo, was Drake? Wait. Was Take Care out before 2019?
Of course, Take Care.
You Take Care. That was shady. She's part of the YMCMB. Okay. Exactly, ho. Still sad Tekashi ain't here no more, so you can try and sneak feels on his booty. Don't talk on a woman, then run from a man. I'm glad it's received, rat. It won't be the only thing you'll receive. And then crazy emojis. You know, but here's the thing, right? I'm glad she hasn't sent me nothing like that because I'm going straight to the feds with that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought she did censor.
I'm a civilian. No, she went and tried to get some people.
Oh, no. I was like, yo, we're going to have you viral. Like, you're not messaging me this bullshit right here.
And then you posted that?
Of course I posted
But here's the deal. Like,
the Barb still believe that I made this up. Because
no, it's right there.
Nicki's sweet, and Nicki would never say such a thing.
To them, that they believe that.
It's the craziest fan base.
But this is what I will say, because on the record, I mean, I know everybody in hip hop listens to you, so let me be very clear. I've said she deserves a Grammy. She's a fucking dope ass artist. I said that she is, back when she was doing her thing and the only woman out, I was like, yo, female, I was like, yo, she fucking going toe to toe with the legends, Kanye, Jay-Z, anybody she got on the mic with, Wayne, she was killing it, Drake. That's all still real. But two truths can be true, right? Like, yes, you're an ill artist. Yes, you held the torch for so long. But yes, you're a hater. And yes, you're mean. And yes, you threatened people's safety. And yes, now you're married to a person who's actively...
She was fucking super gangster to me.
No, but like, where you at, ho?
Yo, where you at, ho? Yo, send me an ad. I'm like, yo, like, that was so odd. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, until that moment, I never... Like, I've heard of rappers who get a lot of money and fame and then surround themselves with people who might be a certain type of way. Course. And then they start speaking like that.
Yeah.
The way she was talking to me was like someone who was like, almost like, yo, I'm down. I'll order a hit on your ass right now if you keep playing with me. I'm like,
well, she just said you will receive it. That's a threat. And it's the same with the other thing. But here, you know, when I would hear, like, because I heard a few weeks ago, like, oh, I saw some stuff online or whatever. They had allegedly went to go try to hire some people to come get me or whatever. I was like, this is just pure nonsense. I'm still moving around. Of course, I keep security and armed security and all that. But then when I saw the Offset thing at the VMAs, Offset and Cardi completely unprovoked. Now, I know Cardi and I know Offset. I'm close to Cardi. I know Offset, but we not on the phone every day like that. He's not the type of person to be out actively trying to get Nicki Minaj and her husband. They just are not those people. But everybody's aware of everything that's going on. They just won't talk about the street stuff because that's the world that they come from. I don't come from that world. I'm a civilian. I will call the police, and I have talked to the police because I feel like I didn't even know that they came at you. That she came at you. Hold on. DJ Vlad calls me. He's like, oh, saw your post.
Yeah.
Then he sends me you. Then I saw your video. Then I saw this interview with another guy and another guy. I'm like, so this is like a thing? Like, you're rapper by day and then like hit squad at night? That shit ain't gonna work. Because then if you want to visit your kids through plexiglass, keep fucking with the people because the wrong person I'm not gonna just do this for content. And I'm not even speaking on it now because I'm a tough guy, because I'm not a tough guy. I'm speaking on it now because I know thousands and thousands of people are going to hear this.
Issue with you. You got to. So with me, clearly it's she probably feels like I called her out on a bunch of stuff, like especially with the Drake and Meek beef. By the way, she was the person, and I don't want to give my source on this, but directly involved in this situation. Says, hey, Quentin Miller doesn't get assaulted, if Nicki Minaj doesn't pretty much gaslight these men who's around Meek and pretty much look at Meek to say, y'all didn't beat this guy up, you just recorded him, they go back and beat the dude up. Like that.
So that was what you had reported on?
Yeah. These are the kind of things that, I think she's seen, and she eventually responded to me, right? But I don't know where does she get off?
No, because I was friends. Okay, so I met Nicki years ago in West Hollywood. She came to one of the gay clubs, and Nicki Minaj was like in the heart of her career, and everybody was like, she was like in the gay community, she's the queen at that time. I don't know where she is now, but I know they love her.
Is she bisexual though?
Who, Nicki?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew that. All I knew about her was she was the female rap it girl at that time, and she was in West Hollywood. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go meet her. I met her, took a picture with her, cool, as a fan. Left. Never bar, but a fan. And then later on, I was friends with Ra Ali. Ra Ali invites me to go to some Mac event that she's having to meet her. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to meet her. She's Nicki Minaj. I go, I meet her, take a picture with her, whatever. She was cool. Nicki was always polite, never had a bad experience with her, never rude. It wasn't until I became friends with Cardi, just as I literally loved this girl. I loved her when she was just on Instagram. I just thought she was dope and whatever. And then followed her career, loving hip hop or whatever. I'm hanging out with the girl. The next day, they all get in a fight at the Harbor Bazaar party, and it becomes a them versus us thing, automatically woven into something that ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's the gala thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was Fashion Week. It was the Harbor Bazaar party, and then remember if you remember. So when that happened, I called Raleigh as a friend, like, yo, let's get them all. That's your girl, that's my girl. Let's all get on the phone.
Raleigh's like her goon, right?
But I didn't know Raleigh was the one that had punched Cardi at the party. So I'm trying to
Cardi got punched
at the Harper Bazaar party when she had the knot on her head.
I thought she just got hit with a shoe or something, like a
no, like she was going at Nicki, and Rod jumped in on that. So I didn't know all that was happening. So when I called Rod to piece it up,
you knew that was going. Yo, you're Jason Lee.
No, listen. People give me more credit. Like your boy Joe, when I dropped that Tahiri interview, everybody think on his birthday.
Hold on. Joe, I'm gonna hold you down on this one. He knew.
No, everybody thinks I'm like plotting with zodiac signs and calendars. Like I don't be knowing. So like I literally called Ra as a friend because I really liked Ra. You know, I mean, she runs down on me in restaurants now. I'm like, I don't like her now.
She owns on site, right?
Yes. Which she used one of my employees on my dime and all my IP in building that shit. So my employee, I went through her email, found out she was building with Raw on the low on site. So I fired her. Yes, shit people don't even know.
Really?
Yes. On an NDA and everything. Said all our contracts, using all our template, how we build our shit. She was using my employee on my dime to build that shit. Bam. So I called Raw. It's gangster. I fuck with, you know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Raw. I give her a props for that, right? So I called Raw as a friend to say, hey, let's get our girls together and squash this. She don't put Nicki on the phone. It all ensues. Come to find out, it's because it then helps Raw get the clout that she can't get on her own. She has no real talent. You know what I mean? And
she was on Love and Hip Hop. Right?
So how many other people you know in Love and Hip Hop?
I mean, you're right, but
Love and Hip Hop is literally like that stepping stone to like get to where you want to go. It's just not something that you just live in unless you don't got talent.
True, but like, so she's. What clout you think she was trying to get to?
Had you ever seen her in a Nicki Minaj video before then, or in a Nicki Minaj bar, or riding around with Nicki? And I mean, that became Nicki's Pitbull. You know what I mean? And so, you know, you have me genuinely trying to get the piece to go. And like, I'm over here with Patience, who was working with Cardi, and then I'm over here trying to talk to Ra and not getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden now, as the facts start rolling out, because now receipts are getting dropped and I'm putting things out, I think what made her mad was when she had said that she didn't rewrite the lyrics to Motorsport, but then I put out the original track. And we're like, but these are the original bars. Yeah. You did write it. And that was, I think, the beginning of the problems. And then when she called me cocksucker, I was like, okay, no, I ain't doing that.
And by the way, I'll say this to the audience. There are hands that are puppeteering certain things. I won't say I know exact. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure, obviously, you got it because you just said you put it out. I remember I was doing this live stream shit back then, and I get in my email mysteriously. They're like, Nicki Minaj's original verse. I'm like, what the fuck? Random email. I kid you not.
Motorsport?
Yes. And I was just like, I'm playing this shit. Like, I remember playing it. I was just like, oh, whatever. And then I got more details of what happened. But that was a big, important, probably divide in the industry in terms of people had to pick a side, right?
But you know what? And this is on the record, to be very clear, I talk to Cardi probably every single day. And we haven't talked to her. I think I left her voice note today, but like it's literally about like her kids, her family, like her ambitions, watching her win a Grammy, like just I'm a fan of watching her and Drake, and people literally have a dream. We all are dreamers that like make our shit.
You know Cardi a little bit better than me, and I know Cardi as well, like pretty, not frequently, but from time to time. Does Cardi do that in terms, because like I think with Nicki it's almost like she's trying to like script the game of like this like Avengers type thing. Anytime I've talked to Cardi, it's like, yo, she'll send me a random note about like, she was like, yo, yeah, this J-Main dude on No Jumper is funny.
Yeah.
Like that's like nothing like, yo, I'm maniacally.
Or she'd be like, did you see Scarlett? Like it'd be real random.
No, of course, yo, I remember she was just like, yo, she sent me a note about like NBA Youngboy, like, oh, I know that's your favorite. Like, well, super random. I don't see what I see in Nicki in terms of someone trying to maniacally kind of create narratives and whatever.
But that statement right there alone.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. But that statement right there alone, because me and you were sitting here saying it, is going to be perceived as Atlantic paid us millions of dollars to come here and destroy Nicki Minaj, which is not true. And the thing about it is, you know, what's been sad in watching Cardi and her rise is like she hasn't really been able to enjoy any of this shit.
Yeah.
She has a baby, boom, something drops. She has new song coming out, here comes the threats and the this and the likes on Twitter and the barbs. And I mean, this girl literally has not been able to enjoy her fucking career. I'm like, damn. And I'm on the phone with her sometimes like, when she's like upset or something, like as a friend saying like, why are you even entertained? Like, cause you may look on outside like, bitch, you up here.
Yeah, I always tell her
Enjoy
like,
it.
Number one, why do you respond to blogs? And also, why do you respond to fan pages?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, if you see something Mirage or like anything with a unicorn, just don't leave it alone.
And if it's pink, just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, but I saw an old clip of Cardi where she was talking about celebrities that she, as a fan, she used to watch celebrities who talked about killing themselves or actually committing suicide. And she would always say, like, I don't understand why they would do that. They're super famous and rich. And she was like, I understand it now. Like, I understand the pressure and the frustration and the sadness that comes with being a superstar. And I will tell you, there are times I've talked to Cardi and she's talked in a way that had me a little concerned, because I'm like, yo, are you really letting it eat you like that? Because if, in my mind, I'm like, if I was in your shoes, but the reality is we're not in her shoes, and all we could do is like sit on the sidelines. That's why I have learned through this whole process, even with Nicki, I try to give her lots of grace. I went on the We in Miami podcast. I said she deserves a Grammy. She's top 10 male, female. I sing her.
What do you think it is with, so
I've given her praise, but nobody hears that.
No, but listen, what you're saying in terms of giving her praise, I do too. I think a lot of people, I don't think people are really comparing Nicki's, like everybody, she's heralded pretty much as the best female rapper of all time. What I see is, despite that, there is a uncomfortability or there is a unhappiness. And there was previous, and I don't want to get personal, you know, obviously, because I like to stick with the music as much as I can. But I thought when she had, you know, had a child and had some more fulfillment to life, because I know certain artists, they're only happy when they have a hit. Mm-hmm. They're only happy when they're at the top of the charts. They're only happy when they're getting all the praise and accolades that's what fulfills them. And I'm like, maybe that was Nicki. And I mean, I get it. She might have grinded so hard to get to the point she's at. That's a fulfilling feeling. But now I can't understand why some of these other things, like it feels like she's unhappy to me.
Well, let me say this, because they're going to hear what we're talking about, and they're going to say, they're talking about her kid. Let's be very clear. No. We're not talking about her kid. I will say, first of all, she has a beautiful family. Yeah. When she had her kid and when she got married, I was like, yo, she's going to find happiness, because what I've heard is when you have a family, when you have a kid, it does change things. It makes you a different person, because it just, you know, and
it made Cardi a different person.
But some women go through postpartum. Some women go through other things. I have 5 sisters, and they all have had different emotional and chemical.
5 sisters?
5.
Damn.
All fucking crazy, by the way. Hey, but you know, they go through different things as women, and I think that like when she got married, had the baby, I didn't even know who this guy was. And I think just as we're talking, people assume I know every fucking thing. I literally don't be knowing. When I had heard about his past and all that, what I said was, because what people may not know about me is, for 3 years, I was a probation officer.
Really?
Yes. For 3 years, I worked in probation.
Nigga, when the fuck were you a probation officer?
Back in my early 20s, for 3 years. Because I thought, having been a troubled kid, that like, getting in probation was the way to help.
Yeah.
Realized, nah, this is some bullshit. This is a business. So I got up out of there. But when he got out, when I found out who he was and his charges and all that, the rape and the murder or whatever, or manslaughter, I was like, yo, this is when he was a kid. He served his time. Although I feel a certain way being that I've been molested before about sexual predators. Like, I'm not going to even make this commentary because he served his time, but because I really do believe in prison reform. And when you pay your debt to society, like, you're good. I became then the one that's supposed to have outed his hip past. He's on a registry. Like, how I become the guy. So
they said you outed his past? They said that
I'm the one that leaked it to TMZ. Why would I leak it to TMZ? I own my own platform. That doesn't make sense.
You just drop it on your own.
I would just drop it on my own, get all the hits. Like, I don't need to leak that to nowhere, you know? And so then I started becoming the guy that was the one that was stirring all that pot. I didn't tell the victim to say that she was being threatened. I didn't tell the ex-girlfriend to go live with blood and say that she'd been beaten up by his friends. I didn't tell his friends to make threats to bury Offset or kill Cardi or whatever. I ain't doing none of that. I'm literally with my dogs, with a nigga that I'm fucking on because I'm gay, minding my business until my staff have to do their job because of what's on the internet. And then I get blamed by it. The thing that makes us, you and I both, unique is that, and I was watching a lot of your videos and I'm like, yo, you come off just so naturally fearless that it feels like hate. Because you're not thinking of the politics. If I say this, or if I do this, or if I go here, I can't. You just say what you think.
Yeah.
That is a different level of strength that don't exist in this business. It used to exist with Wendy. When Charlamagne was...
Wendy is the fucking GOAT.
She's the fucking GOAT.
To you
She's
too?
the fucking GOAT.
And when I think about what I do and what you do, and yes, I'm more hip hop centric, but what Wendy did on a personality, especially back then on talk radio, to me, she is the GOAT.
In an era where it made waves without blogs and without, she just was Wendy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's why anytime I see,
I would never slander. Listen, despite anything I've ever seen about Wendy, you know, subsequently in the news or whatever, I wish her the best. I think without her, we don't get to be this expressive.
Without her, when Peter Rosenberg hates on me and calls me messy, you wouldn't actually be in Hot 97 had she not been there building the house that you sit in every day. And that's why I even criticize them. And like you said, we're of a ecosystem where we usually don't do that. But like, he stepped out and hated on me. And I felt like as a white boy, you shouldn't feel that type of privilege to talk about a community and a culture that you're really not a part of. You got a job.
That's another bigger discussion too that I realized. You see, people from that radio ilk, they're like old media.
Yeah.
We're new media.
Facts. I said on Drink Champs, you're what was, I'm what's next.
Yeah.
Same thing. And that's the part that they all haven't understand. Like, you can be that dinosaur. That's why me and Wendy became super close. She got it. When I walked on her set and her audience goes, oh my God. She's like, who the fuck are you? I'm Wendy Williams. I'm like, bitch, I'm your next, I'm in next in line.
Yeah.
We built a relationship where she understood he got that digital shit, he got that podcast shit, and I got this TV shit. And we linked up and it was smart, but it was organic, but it was also like a level of appreciation where like I bowed to her. Like, if it wasn't for you, the shade rooms, the Hollywood Unlocks, the baller, like you.
I think people don't understand like that. Like, you know, like a media takeout becomes a supplier or ancillary product to what Wendy is.
Yeah.
A shade room, a ball alert, a Hollywood Unlocked. Like, I mean, the neighborhood talk, all of these things become. Obviously, now we're in a digital age, but if Wendy wasn't doing that back then, I just don't know how we get to this point.
Yeah, but it's also like the lack of acknowledgement of Wendy's influence is similar to the lack of acknowledgement of Lil' Kim's influence. So that's where I make the connection where like people that are of a certain age or a certain level of ignorance or dismissive like intelligence will look at them as being the one. That throne you sit on has been sat on before. Like every Queen Elizabeth that just died, there was a queen before her, or a king before her father, and then there was a queen before that, and there's going to be a king after this king, because nobody gets to build a throne on its own and rule forever on its own. Like everybody's going to pass it down. And I can go back and say, like, I watched Queen Latifah do UNITY, then go to set while she's doing shows for that to do Living Single, and then shoot over here and go film Set It Off, and then come back. And I've watched her career rise too, to where I have a level of appreciation. Not too long ago on her birthday, birthday. She was there with MC Light, and they were having a conversation. I'm like, you realize like we had this moment 30 years ago when I saw y'all together at a rap party for Living Single, and look at the way that the game has changed. Like, I have an appreciation for that, but I should also be able to sit and have the same conversation with a Nicki. But one thing that stands out with Nicki, going back to her and your boy Joe, remember that interview when she brought him on her show and turned the mics off and yelling at him and throwing him out and this, that?
Yeah.
Would you ever let that happen?
I mean,
do you even understand something like that?
Hey,
no disrespect to Joe.
No,
I think he went in to really have a conversation, and the way he was treated.
But here's the thing, though. From what I've heard, and again, I don't know her personally, so I'm going off of a lot of, anecdotal stories by people who were around her, and I'm going off how nasty our encounter was. I've heard that you have to be able to tolerate that. Like, she treats people like the dirt beneath her feet. And because she has this large audience and a lot of people who do go around her, like, for example, Joe, if Joe went around her to be on her show, Joe is probably thinking, well, you have a big audience. I kind of want them to like me. So when you're like shouting at me, belittling me, cut my thing off, tell me to fucking leave, all this type of shit. If I don't respond in probably how he would respond to anyone else, I mean, the Migos basically, they were just like short-winded or not really trying to say shit. And he was just like, fuck these things. I'm walking out of here. But Nicki, you gotta understand that, some people in your life you accept, but that comes with verbal abuse. It comes with them mistreating you.
But your reaction when he walked out on the Migos was mine too, because that's one of my favorite rap groups.
No, that day was crazy.
That was insane.
No, that day was so crazy. Just because of first time
I think it was the first time I saw y'all together. I was like, "What is this?"
Dog, they never invite they never invite me back to BT Wars
from that.
Yeah, I think they.
But you really didn't have nothing to do with that, did you?
No. First of all, everybody.
Wait, but didn't you get thrown in all that?
That was also me gaining a tougher exterior in narratives and shit like that. I remember at first, I even got into it with Joe's girl at the time, because when everybody's going on social media, she went on social media like unpromptedly and was just like, well, this would have happened if Akademiks wasn't a bitch. And I was like, what? This has nothing to do with me. That whole incident started at the mall. P and like a bunch of goons ran up on Joe while he's getting socks and was like, yo, stop talking about Yachty.
Oh, and before the interview even happened?
Yes, early. He went to the mall to get socks for the red carpet. Then the red carpet starts. They come over and they were almost intimidating me. Remember what we said earlier? And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
At the thing backstage?
Yes. This is not on camera.
Off camera, yeah.
Then the Migos walk on. They all three of them dap me up because we stand up, we were greeting them, and they all look at Joe, size him up, and go sit down. None of them dap him up.
Tension before y'all even started. Okay.
So now, Joe's like a Jersey City dude. So like, this is why his chair is like this the whole time, like looking at them like, what are y'all gonna do? And he knew that was coming.
That was so wild. This is why I said, but you get lumped into that. And I'll say shout out to P, because
that was a great moment though.
It was an iconic in terms of viral moment. But let me say this. Shout out to P. P, as reckless as I am sometimes, and I look back at some of my old shit, I'm like, yo, nigga, you was on one. P always shows me love when he sees me. He's like, yo, I'm seeing you moving, bro. Like, congratulations, I'm proud of you. He ain't brought little baby to me yet. He did give me Carisha for an interview, but like, he sees me and
both of them hate me.
Huh? No, I love P. I mean, but I love what he's been able to build as a family.
P loves me, yeah. but Carisha hates me.
I love Carisha. She don't like you? Wait.
I only said she was Diddy's side chick.
But that's come on. But
that's Jason. I watch you on your show. You be giving it up, but don't tell me you selective politics. You only give it up to the people you don't care about.
Carisha did my. Well, see, I don't know the trajectory of the relationship because let me say this. She did my interview, and I asked her the relationship because I knew he had a baby on the way before it actually hit the news. I just didn't have the proof, but I had heard
that out.
Because I didn't have the proof, and people thought, oh, he didn't put that out because he's on Revolt. No, I wasn't even on Revolt then. I just didn't know that like it was a for sure thing. I kind of heard about it. I was invited to go on a vacation. If I'd have went on that vacation, the baby was there. I would have saw the baby, but I didn't go.
Vacation with Diddy and them?
Carisha, the baby mom, and Diddy and the baby were all on vacation together with a whole group of people. Yeah, she talked about it on my show when I put it out.
You got to have to keep that relationship going.
Yeah, but she also says she's benefiting from it too, and she's a city girl.
Yeah, but
you know
that's why I was.
But you're calling her a side chick.
No. This is why I was confused. You can't say you're a city girl. Hey, listen, fuck all that. As long as I'm getting a bag, like these are the things they're praising. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like you're the side chick getting the bag, right?
Why you didn't say you the city girl getting the bag? Because you know how to make the internet go. Because you know how to make the internet go. But
no, I'm gonna put it. Yo, let me tell you this. You see that whole city girl movement? It sounds good, but it's like it's womanese for like what dudes would say and women would hate. If we be like, yo, I'd be like, yo, oh, I'm outside, I'm act bad. Be like, oh, you're a hoe. They're like, no, I'm not a hoe. I'm just outside acting bad. I'm like, that's a hoe.
But look at, you got Sexy Red now who's moving. She got motion.
I like Sexy Red.
She said, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. Is it pink?
Did you see the video?
Did you?
I did.
Is it pink? So what I'm saying is,
I love her,
Sexy Red, you know I fuck with you. You know I know you coming on my show. But like, you know, you can't be mad. She mad now because people are saying it's brown. She's like, you don't know what it means. You're not getting no ass and you ain't on the inside. I'm like, we just looking at what we see. You know, you can't get mad when people criticize what y'all put out there, accidental or not. And I think with Carisha, she came on my show and she said, I said, well, you want your daughter to grow up and be a city girl? She said, absolutely not. I said, okay.
Wait, hold on though.
She said that.
Isn't that hypocritical?
Not really, because she's saying this is how I was raised.
Jason, I'll be watching you give it up.
Let me say, I'm gonna give it to you.
Jason,
this is my.
I watch you, and let me tell you, there's very few people in this, and this is what I'm saying. You're one of those.
Yeah.
There's very few people in this that if they're not interviewing someone, I can't watch them. I watch you, and like. Sometimes you like, I don't know who's behind that camera, whatever. You'll be like, yo, you're telling your staff to do this and third. You're giving it up. You have an opinion, and I only watch people who could think for themselves.
But let me say this: I love my mother was a heroin, crack addict, cocaine, freebasing person who had crazy psychological issues and let it destroy our family. And for me, I'm in therapy because my alcoholism started to get really bad. And so when I hear Carisha say she's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing it, because I see the brand Young Miami and then I see Carisha. Off camera, she ain't
What's
that.
The difference?
She is not that. What she's doing, and she said it, like, I am a performer, this is what I do, but like, I'm not raising my daughter to go through what I went through. I'm providing.
It's hypocritical though, because she's raising everybody else's daughter to do that.
Well, she ain't raising your daughter. She's putting the music out there. That's your daughter. Your responsibility.
Yo, place. The women I run into these days, like I have, well, Carisha, I guess she's up there, but like they look at that, they idolize it.
Sure.
They kind of even
the
now.
Kids, you mean?
Huh?
The kids or the parents?
No, I'm like. These days, if I meet a woman who's 24, 25, they're so influenced. Yo, they're on your blog and they're watching these things.
Yes.
Like, I know you motherfuckers got like some big ass contract with Zeus because I promote the shit out of it.
Shout out to Zeus Network. You guys are amazing.
Let me right there too. He was over here backpedaling. But here's the thing. And I remember one of the reasons I even wanted to talk to Lemmy is because there's so many of these women that when I'm talking to them, I could tell they base even their own actions and decisions in life on what Krishan Rock is doing.
Facts.
They're like, well, yeah, like it's like almost like what would Krishan do?
Yeah.
Like I had to stop a chick from like fighting. I'm like, yo, like back in the day, seeing a woman just straight up just going crazy fighting was just so unattractive, period.
Right.
That I'm almost like, where did this behavior come from? And they're looking like, well, I'm not gonna let nobody try me.
Right.
And I'm like, this comes from the influence from like a Krishan Rock or what they watch on Zeus. Mm-hmm. But then when it comes to Carisha, that whole city girl, hey, listen, as long as you got a bag, it's that season where niggas blow bag for every reason, act bad. Okay, cool. It's the same critique. And by the way, people always, they have this one bad rap about me. They say, yo, act only do it for the women. Cap. Y'all just don't pay attention when I do it with the men. Like, again.
And that is a narrative that's said about me too. Because the male fan bases ain't online all day talking about it.
Yeah.
Female fan bases are. And that's why that shit sticks. Oh, Jason hates black women. He only talks about black women. I talk about fucking Caitlyn Jenner, the vice president of the United States. I talk about everybody. Y'all just don't listen to other shit. Or when I do, it's a blip. Oh, you bet you won't say it to a man? Pick one and give me a topic. Yeah, I will. Because it's not about being afraid, being honest. When you're literally honest, and I look at you as being fucking honest. Like, I feel like even when you recap that video of the whole beef with Nicki and what I said on my show about them trying to kill Cardi, whatever, and Offset, I felt like you were like, yo, this nigga gay. He be covering like the female shit and this and that. You still gave me my props as somebody who's fearless and does what he does. You acknowledge I was gay. Your reaction to it was based on what it was. It wasn't hating. There was nothing in that I could be mad at. It's because I live in my truth. I'm out here openly gay. I got fucking money. I am connected to who I'm connected to, but I also don't give a fuck. That's just who I am. And for me to get mad at anybody that criticizes that would be ridiculous. But at the same time, if you put out something that I don't like or you have an opinion that I disagree with, then you can't be mad if I want to go back and forth on that. And they typically won't go back and forth, but I will have an opinion on it. But yeah, I get the same label all the time.
Yeah, no, but a lot of people now, and I guess even to the whole Carisha point, which by the way, I think me and her, we're gonna be cool. You know what the funny part is? At least
why is she mad at you? Like what? Oh,
because I said she was Diddy's side chick, and you know what's so crazy? Diddy came out and said he was single. Like again, I'm nigga knees in all these conversations. Like I'm gonna have the conversations that I have with my homies. Like I don't talk like there's 15,000 people watching me live. Yeah. I talk like, yo, it's just us. There's no camera on. Be like, yo, he's tripping, right? Like even say we talk about Tory, right? Yeah. We might have a conversation. We might be like, man, I think that nigga did it. Like if that's how I feel, I'm gonna say it on camera. I'm not gonna be like, well, let me just play.
But you were kind of hard on Meg though. But were you writing hard on Meg? Yes.
Tell me.
Okay. I could understand, like, first of all.
Where do you fall on the matter? I got to see where you fall.
Okay, so I knew Tory and Meg. Like, I don't talk to Tory now because he's locked up, but like when he was out, I have text from him. I can show you where he said, yo, I just want to say I appreciate how you're covering this because I feel like you're the most fair. Then I have text from Meg saying, I appreciate you. Just, you say whatever you want because at this point, like, I'm checked out, but at least I feel like you're being fair. This is at the same time. I'm over here hanging out at a hookah lounge with Madonna and Tory who are hanging out.
Yo, you are Maxey, dog. Yo, you know what's so funny?
And I mean, we're taking shots. And I'm looking at Tory like, nigga, I need that interview. Shots, Madonna. And I came to meet Madonna, but he was with her already at the fight. And I was like, yo, let's go to this hookah lounge because I wanted to get the interview with Tory. Yeah. But I can still ride in the car with you and Madonna, but then still call Meg in my mind because I'm not friends with y'all people. I'm not even friends with Madonna. We text, we're cool, we hang out.
You don't consider yourself friends with Meg or Tory?
No, I don't. Friends, no. Friends Cardi, friends Floyd, friends Rihanna, friends Tiffany Haddish. But friends, that's like a real thing for me. I take friendships serious as fuck.
That's, by the way, if anyone ever has been on the media side of things, that word a lot of times ruins or sometimes skews a relationship.
Facts.
Because sometimes you might be in communication with someone, right? And they might have now a certain expectation of you.
They all do though.
Yo, I hit Jason. Yo, Jason, my man. Jason, before he reports something about me that's unfavorable, he should run it by me first.
Now that was Joe. Now, really? Well, not run by him. Okay, no. Okay, you know who said that? Neo. So recently I went off on online. I was triggered by something Neo did with the transphobic thing. And you know what?
What did he say?
He said basically like he had done an interview with Gloria Velez for Vlad's network. And he had said that people were talking about raising kids, doing transitions or whatever. Like kids under 18 can't go through a transition sexually anyway, like meaning like body parts. And there's so much misinformation about transphobia and homophobia and this and that is exacerbated by like people who are just ignorant on the topics and say shit. Now, mind you, I am gay, so as much as I'm also like a nigga in the mix with hip hop and R&B or culture,
you're like different gay, bro.
I am different gay.
You're like a nigga gay.
I'm a nigga gay. I'm a nigga gay, but you know what? I think sometimes they forget that I'm gay and expect like, yo, as a nigga, you should have called me. But like, as a gay nigga, you attack my whole community. You know what I mean? Like, you attack my whole fucking community. And I'm not even like, yes, I may fly under the veil of straightness or hang out with straight niggas and all that or whatever. But like at the end of the day, I also watch my staff write stories about young kids who kill themselves because they were called gay or and this and that. And I know who I represent too. I think with Neo, I probably could have called him like, my nigga, like you fucked up. Can we have a conversation about this? So I could have, but I personally was triggered and personally reacted, which was, I'm not as proud of how I handled it, but I did it. He was mad as fuck. You should have called me this, that, fuck this, fuck that.
He reached out to you?
He texted me on some like rah-rah shit. I was like, listen, Neo, you don't know what I know. Do that if you want to, and then I'm gonna go to the internet too. But I felt bad because I felt like we could have had a conversation, and maybe one day we will because Neo is a good guy. He's not a bad guy. But on the flip side, when I interviewed Tahiri and Joe got mad, the only reason I didn't call Joe, it wasn't just, I said on Drink Champs, I was like, yo, I didn't know, I wasn't friends with that nigga like that. That wasn't really the truth. The reason why I didn't call him is because one, it was like uncomfortable that it even came out. And then I gotta call you and you might say something before the interview comes out.
Okay, so well, suppose you made that call and they're like, yo,
don't put it out.
Yo, Jason, yo, you my mans, yo, like, don't put it out, bro.
It's going out. I literally am doing that right now. Another one today.
Really?
Yes.
Yo, you run into that more than, that's what I'm saying, Mixie. Me, I have few relationships. Like, for example, like, you know, again, which by the way, I think I was, you know, definitely, you know, sometimes when you're looking like, yo, one of y'all motherfuckers say something. I was on that type of wave. Metro Boomin said something. Yeah, I was
like you were wanting the.
Like I was wanting, like I was ready to make an example. And every time I'm responding to a rapper, I'm making an example.
What was it? Because you were fed up with everybody's attitude about how you were approaching stuff?
Yeah, no. I was just fed up about.
I feel like you be getting attacked from all types of directions. I was fed up about people nitpicking, right? So like I posted something about Metro Boomin. It was like, yo, hey, he's working on something, like something just not even just music stuff. He comes in, it was like, oh, him and Future coming with something. He comes into my comment section and said, hey, this is gonna be the last time I ask you, stop posting me. And I just went fucking nuts. Now, 21 Savage is my guy. Yeah.
Like, you know, I would consider him a friend. Metro Boomin is his friend. They his first mixtape they did together. And he hits me about this and he says, yo, listen, yo, Ak, you know, I honestly, you got your shit off. He's like, do me a favor if you can. He says, okay, if you can. And by the way, Youngboy did this too with McConan one time. He said, listen, you can do what you want, but I'm just asking you personally a favor. Don't continue this. This person, they ain't trying to go back and forth with you.
Talking about Metro.
Yeah. Okay. And I was just like, yeah, well, yeah, if he's not saying anything more about me, I just had to say what I said then. I'm not going to continue it.
Yeah.
You know, shit, Drake hit me about SZA recently like that too.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was just like, hey, listen.
This in the DMs?
We talked on the phone actually.
Oh, wow.
And he was just like, hey, listen, you know, I forgot, yo, I held something, I don't know how you do it, but SZA came on Everyday Struggle 5 years ago. I held something from then. Again, we had a beautiful interview actually, but then she blocked me afterwards. And apparently the night before the interview, I did a stream and I had no idea who SZA was at that time. So I'm just like, shooting the shit with my chat. I'm like, who's SZA? And they're describing her. I'm like, oh, she's like some Amazonian, tall looking. And obviously it's kind of like disrespectful, but I really didn't know. I wasn't trying to offend.
They were describing her.
Yeah, it's what I'm reading it. After the interview, she sees that clip. She's like, wow, why didn't you have that energy in the interview? And she was just like, yo, she was super upset.
But in all fairness to SZA, should we go to the same gym? This is the Mixie part.
Yeah.
We go to the same gym. She came up to me in the gym. I had never met her. She goes, I'm a huge fan of yours, but I'm scared of you. She ran away in the gym.
Really?
So I'm like, to my friends, is that SZA? She's like, yeah, beautiful. I'm like, so I go up to her, I go, girl, shut the hell up. You're fucking dope. Give me your number. She gives me her number. We're texting. We're talking. I'm like, yo, come on my show. She was like, I'm definitely afraid of interviews. Like, I don't like them. I don't feel comfortable. And I'm terrified of Hollywood Unlocked. And then she changed her number. But I didn't take that as a negative. She literally is just that girl that just is terrified of like us and this medium. But like what they don't realize is that they don't know we go through this with so many people. You like, you too? And then now sometimes, you know, now we're into it, but like I've grown, I've built a relationship with Top Dog, and I try to be empathetic and understand what these people are going through. And some of them, like, I just can't understand like what a Nicki going through, because I think that there's some people that are just negative, evil, mean people. But then there's people like a SZA who, she's probably being trolled online all day, told what she looks like, this, that. Look how she's being treated right now. Like,
when I went at her, I'm gonna be honest with you, and a lot of times I usually go at people because I'm like, this is, you know, if you step on my foot and I slap you, like, hey, don't measure the response. But this one is because I held it. And anytime I hold stuff for years.
What did you hold? Did you hold the relationship thing?
No, so she blocked me. And I remember, you know, I reached out to Dave Free, and I even went back on the stream and I said, hey, listen, I never meant to offend her. Like, I don't even know how this relationship went bad. And I'm like, I wish I could talk to her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think I also felt the way because I never got a chance to even speak to her.
To explain the situation.
Yeah. And it's made it seem like I was just like this asshole or whatever. And then, of course, me, I don't even know if this is, well, actually, I'm pretty sure she did like a subliminal thing that was kind of aiming at me. One time I'm on stream. She was just with Kai Cenat on stream shortly. And I think he had mentioned me. So I think that's how I know she saw it. So I'm like, this is live. So I'm like Googling her name, and apparently she had a BBL or whatever. And I pull up like the TMZ picture of it, and it was like the worst photo of the BBL. And I didn't know she was a little bit like, you know, she's very about her image, like
self-conscious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and I remember I pulled it up and I was like, I was making comments, but nothing too crazy. But I could see it in her mind. She's like, this nigga is playing me. So anyway, that same moment, and I could probably pull it up right now on her Instagram. Everybody's hitting my chat. Yo, she sent 2 tweets out, which she later deleted. And then she posted a newer picture of her looking amazing, by the way, but basically saying, this is the real shit, right? And then I was just like, you know what? This is what I fucking hate. And that's what got me mad. I hate when people don't want to talk to you, but they react to what you say. I would have loved to talk to her.
Yeah.
You know, to explain that, hey, I'm not a hater of you. I don't even know you like that. By the way, you're from Jersey. Like, I want to celebrate you. But... And I even said the same thing about even Drake and Joe recently. I'm like, hey, Drake, if you don't do hip hop interviews, you can't get upset at what hip hop outlets say about you.
Well, now I agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
I agree with
if
that.
Someone will not sit down with Jason Lee.
But that's 80% of the black artists today. They strive for white validation. They strive to be on these white TikTok, Snapchat shows because they don't want to be challenged. How do you profit off a culture that you don't want to be accountable to? Like, how do you talk about this pro-black shit and Black Lives Matter when black brands, black businesses, black media doesn't? Like, it's just the biggest hypocrite. And that's why every time their albums flop and fail, I fucking laugh. I recently called David Stromberg, who is Travis Scott's manager. I was at Michael Rubin's party at the Super Bowl. Walked in, got on the stage.
Is that the party that little baby was getting his ass like clenched?
I ain't going there. No, first of all, I didn't see.
Don't tell me you signed an NDA.
No.
Let me back up.
Hold on.
What did you see at that party,
Hold on.
Jason, what did you see at that party?
The all-white party, Michael Rubin Super Bowl party you're talking about, Little Baby was there, but it was not an all-white party. It wasn't an all-white party.
That picture where he's getting hugs from both sides.
I saw that picture. I don't know if that's AI generated. I went at that party, and I like Little Baby, so I don't know nothing about that. I ain't there to see it, but whatever. I did see that picture though. But no, the Super Bowl party I was at, when I see Little Baby, I had heard that he was like not afraid of me, but just kind of wanted to stay away from me. Because I had interviewed Jada Wade, and I walked up to him, I said, bro, you know, I fuck with you, I fuck with your movement, I like what you're doing for your community, I like your story, Yoka, whatever. Like, and he, you know, I broke the ice with him, he was cool. I see Travis, and Travis turns around, because remember I was working with Ye for a minute, and I helped with Ye with the whole, him and Travis and getting to the kids' birthday party thing. And so Travis goes, hey man, I need you to protect us, bro. You gotta look out for us, bro. We need you, man. The culture needs you.
You sound like Travis is even saying
Hold on, I said pull up. Ain't seen Travis to this day. So the other day I called his manager. I said, look, when all them niggas died at his thing, I was the one that said, look at all these other festivals where people die of drug overdoses, this, that, whatever. I went and talked about how important what he built was based on the documentary, how much this, that, whatever. I didn't even put out that like Kylie Jenner was hanging around Drake's birthday party at Delilah when I was there at Larsa Pippen. Don't know what they were doing, but you know the rumors are there. But like,
what's the rumor? Not tell me.
Oh, that they were fucking.
Who?
Kylie and Drake.
Kylie and Drake?
Yeah, you didn't hear that? That's what the streets said allegedly. You never heard that?
I mean, I thought like
she was at the nigga birthday party.
I gotta hear it. I just gotta see something that look.
Yeah, I mean the Kardashians pass pussy around every day. You know that.
So Drake done fucked the moms allegedly. Come on.
Well, they said allegedly, yeah.
Kim, maybe.
I mean, there was some conversation.
I see why Kanye trying to get Drake knocked off, man. Holy shit. Yo, you live in LA, so like that's the home of the mess.
It's the home of the mess. But here's the deal, right? Like going back to the topic of these black celebrities, like I told his manager the other day, I said, Travis Scott has been to X amount of Michael Rubin parties since he told me that he needed me and this and the culture, this and that. Yeah. But he ain't been to Hollywood Unlocked to the Jason Lee show once. So tell that nigga, don't tell me how he needs me. And don't call me when shit start rolling out and it's fucking up the bag. Because that's really all they care about. Are you fucking up the bag or are you fucking up with my bitches?
Yeah.
So then I always say to them like, yo, if y'all not participating, don't get mad when there's no discretion given when your shit get put out there. Because I can call you and say, hey, heads up, this about to come out. And you can decide how you want to handle it. I always give them that option now. But like now, that's why, you know, when the whole Joe Budden thing goes down, you start like going like, fuck it. I don't even want the confrontation, the headache, because it ain't going to change nothing. All they're going to do is put me on blast, make it look like they control me or I'm in their pocket. They're not going to support my platform. So why fucking care? Here, y'all digest it and call me later.
Hey, did you hear Drake's new album where he's going at Rihanna? You heard Rihanna?
I heard, huh? Do I have met her?
I never met her. Like these people, yo, this is why I talk so crazy. I never met none of these motherfuckers.
Really?
Never met Drake, Rihanna, none of them.
Really? So you just be hot all day long and you ain't met none of these people?
None of them.
And you don't want to or you don't care?
I mean, they'll invite me to certain shit. I'm like,
But do you want to interview any of these people? Do you care?
I mean, I would. I would care to interview them, but I wouldn't go to hang out with them to interview them.
Yeah.
Like,
because I think this is a great interview, and you're going to ask questions I may or may not like, but it's an interview. They're just questions. You decide how you want to handle them.
A lot of times, I know with people like that, like for example, you have certain access because you're in those circles and you're friends, and you might see them at parties. With me, it's like, you know what I mean? Other than Tekashi 6ix9ine, 21 Savage is pretty cool as well. Anytime I've had friendships with rappers, it's hindered me, never helped.
Well, yeah, you are in a different world that I do not want to be in. Like, I don't like the hip hop world. I respect hip hop and love hip hop, and I love the history of hip hop. I mean, I was around the East Coast, West Coast stuff and all that. I remember all the going up to the death row offices and going to the community events and stuff like that. It's different now. Like now I feel like the hypersensitivity, because like remember Tupac was getting slammed by C. Dolores Tucker every fucking day. People were, I mean, he was literally moving culture like a Black Panther when it came to how hip hop, how he was using his platform in rap music to like move his agenda. But then I feel like nowadays, like you say anything, oh, like this outfit is bad. Oh, motherfucker. Like, it's like y'all are sensitive as hell. Half of these rappers don't even deserve the platforms they have. They want to be gangsters by day, hip hop artists by night. Pick a profession, you know, be one or the other. But if you choose to treat the game, the music game, or like your relationship with the media, like saying all bloggers should die or kill bloggers or whatever, you can't be mad when I don't stand for you when they say don't use rap lyrics against a rapper in court.
Yeah, but also
even though I've said you shouldn't use their lyrics against them.
Some of them use certain type of like, for example, and you even kind of mentioned this. It's one rapper, I won't name his name. He hits me. I post this thing, which is, by the way, I didn't go digging for it. This is not secret. This is posted on stories. Everybody knows what's going on. The Shade Room clearly is going to post it. Y'all definitely going to post it, right? But, you know, since I'm on the hip hop realm more, probably we won't post it, but we happen to. And he hits me and he's like, yo, it's like fucking it up with my bitches right now. And I'm like, I'll tell you all for this shit. And I was just like, yo, dog. I was just like, you know, everybody, I'm like, yo, because I'm cool with you. You want me to take it down, but everybody else, they're not taking it down. Yeah. And by the way, this is what people are talking about today. Yeah. Right? And I did take it down because like me and him are like, we're pretty good friends. And I was just like, yo, I had to think as a man. I was just like, you know what, if this was like some music shit or even some beef shit, probably not. But like, I get it. It was like super.
Yeah. But you own your shit and can do that if you want. Yeah. I've done it too. Like, but there's times where like Serge Ibaka, who I'll say, that's like my brother too. I love Serge to death, one of the nicest people ever. I went to his house when he bought this brand new house. I'm like, yo, this house is fucking fire. But the room I was in was a very specifically designed room. A couple weeks later, Cindy Bruna is on a Zoom in that room. And I call him like, dog, you with Cindy Bruna? He's like, hey, bro, what do you mean, bro? I'm like, no, ain't no bro. I'm like, I sent him the text. I'm like, yo, she's doing a Zoom in that room. He's like, hey, bro, no, bro, like, you know, come on, bro. I thought I said, I'm putting it out. I said, they didn't send it to me. They sent it to everywhere. Somebody gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it out. Don't put it out, bro. Don't do that. I thought we were cool, bro. I put it out. He gets mad. He don't say nothing to me. He just stops really talking to me for like a couple weeks. But you know what he said to me recently? Because now he's
not inviting you back to the crib though.
Yeah.
He did?
Comes to my parties, very supportive, post happy birthday, all that. He said, bro, you forced me to love her publicly. And now I think he gonna marry that girl. Oh, but this is what I said. Is that every situation? Probably not, because there are the times where like I didn't have to take anything there, but like if I feel like something is going to lead to like somebody getting hurt, I will feel like, you know, because my brother died in the streets and like I just don't want to be responsible. But it's always a thing where it's like, because it's out there. But like, if I have the control of like making sure it doesn't cause somebody to get killed or something like that, I'll take it down. Like that's probably the only time I've ever like done that.
Hey, do you have any insight on why Drake is dissing Rihanna like that?
I don't. I heard the lyrics we talked about on Breakfast Club today. You know, I know Rihanna, so I think any Rihanna slander is just crazy.
Where were they dating? And was it like that? Because
remember when there were rumors or whatever? I mean, well,
you're in the Hollywood area. Like, what were you seeing? Because I feel like you probably have a little bit more visibility because I'm in the crib.
I can say I've just seen like the award show stuff. Remember where he tried to kiss her and she curved him or something? And I think her Her choreographer just posted that on her Instagram the other day. I never saw them together, so I don't know what the relationship was, if anything. And I remember when Drake and Chris had their thing?
Yeah.
And I think that was
all over Rihanna, right?
Yeah, I think it was all surrounded Rihanna, allegedly, I guess.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'd be mad too. If I was fighting with a whole nother nigga over you and you go marry the A$AP Rocky, yeah, of course.
A$AP Rocky is fly. That's
he is fly, but it's like
fly. A$AP Rocky. I love A$AP Rocky as much as I love her, and I love them together.
You know what the messy angle is?
What?
So,
but can I say something?
Okay.
People think I will share this story only for the sake of context around their relationship, because they know, like, whatever they do, like
they gave you their baby picture to put out.
They did. We're in the car.
What did you threaten them with?
Nothing. Oh, I love them. That, everybody online.
Why would they give you the picture?
Because
they just tweet it out.
Rihanna's pro-black as fuck, and the paparazzis tried to take unauthorized pictures of her kid, and she wanted black media to have that. So she was like, I'm gonna give it to you. She called me. I was in Dubai. But the thing, like, one time I was with them, and I said, yo, Rocky, you better not fuck this up, man. This is Rihanna. You got, the most beautiful girl in the game. And I said, you lucky to be with her. And she said, I'm lucky to be with him. Like, she holds him down the same way he holds her down, and the relationship is very special to see how much she is in love with him and how much he's in love with her, and it's real. And I just love them. I love them both individually, but I love them both together too. Yeah,
that's kind of dope. So wait. When it comes to, like, and this is what I was thinking about. So this is the messy angle. So not only did, I guess, Drake was dating Rihanna, right? Apparently A$AP Rocky, like, his old side chick is Drake's baby mom's. You know
really?
This.
I didn't know that.
Come on,
no,
man.
I didn't.
Yo, I can't no more.
Wait, let me say this.
You be on Lipstick Alley?
Never go to Lipstick Alley. They post about me. I don't go read that track. Is that real shit? Is Lipstick Alley real? But Lipstick Alley is not a credible source. They said, remember they also said that A$AP was sleeping with some Asian girl over in Japan. Rihanna was over there with them too. Like, no. So I don't believe everything I see online, but that's the nuance that I love, that sometimes I'm in and close enough to it to where I would go, that's bullshit or that's cap. I know. First of all, I can never say, like, every man is faithful, every man this, that, whatever, because I don't police everybody's penis or vagina, so I don't know what everybody's doing. But I know how much he loves that girl, how much she loves him, and I've seen stories be written where I'm like, that's crazy. I posted a video of us in the club, and they said A$AP Rocky proposes to Rihanna with a 1942 bottle. No, I was just drunk and put the video out.
Hey, where do you draw the line? So, like, again, you're in that room, Serge Ibaka's crib, and then you're like, yo, yeah, I'm putting this out. If you're at, like, a private party and say it's, I don't know, two entertainers that nobody knows is fucking, but you see them fucking making out in the corner.
I'm not gonna post that. If I'm at, so say for instance, like, Rihanna invites me to a party and then I go there and two celebrities that nobody knows are together are making out, I'm not gonna post that.
But are you gonna then use that? It's like, use that to kind of almost eventually get that story out.
I'm gonna now know that it's out there, and then when I see it publicly, I'm gonna post it, or I'm gonna have my team post it. So, like, for example, if I see them at Rihanna's party kissing, I'm not going to write about it. But if I then see them leaving a restaurant together, I'm gonna make sure we put it up as a flirt alert. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so, like, because that's fair game. You in public. I don't, because see, I thought always the idea of Hollywood Unlocked wasn't about being messy or spilling the tea. It's when I decided to do this, people wasn't really fucking with me. I'm like, yo, you really not fucking with me when you know I know you like that? Like, okay. So the idea was, let me pull back the veil of Hollywood and let you see your favorite celebrity. But then when they weren't fucking with it, I was like, fuck it then, you know? And then I started just, like, getting in the mix or whatever. But my thing is not to out people. I want to be able to do interviews and, you know, have moments where we could share that honest conversation with the fans. But, like, we work in a world now where everybody's just weird. And I also have to say, this is just as a disclaimer, like, everybody that got my number is not my friend. And they know that. Like, I don't feel like I should have to say to every celebrity, like, look, I'm giving you my number, but I'm not your friend. Like, what did you think? You got my number, so now all of a sudden I'm obligated to be your publicist? I'm not your publicist.
That's another thing.
It's crazy.
I used to get into...
Take that down. If you call me and tell me to take it down, it's never coming down. Matter of fact, some more is going up.
The first time I remember, actually, rest in peace to I forgot his name, it's eluding me right now, but Dirk's very first manager. Remember, I was doing the War in Chirac. I can't remember his name, but, like, he eventually passed away.
Wow.
I remember he had hit me and he was just like, yo, why do you post this about Dirk? But he just gave away like 400 backpacks. You didn't post this. And I was just like, there's no way for me to know. that, right? Like, I'm not your publicist.
Right.
I'm like, you need to hire a publicist to let people know.
Or Dirk needs to build a direct relationship with you, so that way.
He has, by the way.
Yeah. And I like Dirk, but I don't have a relationship with him. But like, when you have the relationship, you're looking. You're actually paying attention.
No,
half these people I'm not paying attention to.
True.
You know, like the hip hop world, I only know if I see you, Breakfast Club, or Vlad, or Adam 22 talk about it. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck's going on in hip hop. I don't know none of these hip hop rappers. I don't know their music. And honestly, I don't fucking care.
People think that bloggers are their publicists because, and they'll use these like, yo, let the white outlets do that. You're not supposed to do that. And it's kind of like, you're supposed to protect me and be my publicist.
But you give all the exclusives to them.
Facts.
So what you talking about?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like, you know, and that's why I have to shout out like a Kevin Hart, who like we've had conversations where our relationship started off really with him not understanding how we work and how like we're shaded or not given opportunities to him. Now, when they go to red carpets, they'll seek us out first to make sure we get the time to ask them stuff. And I feel like that only came out of us all having to force celebrities to acknowledge like, yo, we can get your attention. I can get your attention. Anybody right now, if I go take my iPhone, this thing right here is literally the most powerful. Like, this is the most powerful thing in the world where like we can literally just take our phone and say anything.
By the way, you know, ironically, it's
that we believe in can make money.
My neighbor that's on the opposite side of this wall, they designed Rihanna's album cover for Anti.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not everybody's enemy, but I'm also not everybody's publicist. And I will say, recently I got to a point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm 46 in therapy, happy, I got money, I'm fucking lit. I don't even want to deal with nobody no more. Like, I just want to like go and create, and like I'm kind of like where you are. Like, you don't want to be all in that shit because there's no reward for doing it. Yeah. I'm a fan of the culture. I'm a fan of entertainment.
There is no reward for media personality other than, you know, the fruits of your labor in terms of what you get paid.
Yeah,
right. Because
there's none.
You're usually getting the blame. No one ever says, you know what, Jason Lee did an amazing job covering this. He was so fair. It's never that. It's always, yo, you got this wrong, fuck nigga.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to bring us out. By the way,
it's funny you said that. I hope y'all heard that, because the truth is, they only call when they're not happy.
Yeah.
It's like, not thank you. Thank you for talking about my struggling ass song that ain't fucking being talked about nowhere, because if you niggas weren't covering it, nobody would even know about it. Never get that.
Never.
But the minute you say, so-and-so was out with another bitch that wasn't his.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or sometimes you report on, oh, so-and-so got arrested for something, and they're like, why did you have to report? Why couldn't you call me just to get the actual truth? Which is like, well, that's what you got arrested for. We're just reporting facts at this point.
So now tell me why you got arrested, and I'll put that out.
Yeah. So now they want a nuanced, very detailed, like fragile handled shit. But anyway, you know, one of the times I thought they're gonna get you. Oh man, when you put it out, and you know what I'm talking about. You reported that the Queen had passed away. First of all, I've been waiting. I still have never seen you address it. Where the fuck did you even get that news from?
Listen, I'm not going to say who said it, but you know.
Okay, you don't have to say who said it, but explain how that gets to you. And now you are the CEO of Hollywood Unlocked. Yeah. Your reputation, just like, you know, I always tell people, like, you know, obviously I have, you know, other people and interns that might suggest or they'll submit posts. But I always tell them, I said, this is called Akademiks. No, I can't even say, oh, that's my intern.
Yeah.
No, it says Akademiks.
Yeah. I'm Hollywood Unlocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
How does that come down?
I'm on vacation.
Yes.
Driving down the one in Miami. I get a call from somebody who, like, completely reputable, that says, oh my God, I'm at a wedding right now in London, and we just got a call that the Queen died. I'm like, the Queen who? The Queen, Nicki Minaj. Like, what Queen? No. And they're like, no, the Queen of England. No, who told you that? Now, this person, extremely credible.
Would this person even be at an event that
extremely? They're at the wedding of Edward Enninful, the editor in chief of Vogue Britain, UK. They're at the wedding.
Yeah.
So somebody's called in. No, because I've already said this. Like, they've gone through the wedding list. Like, they're trying to figure out. Somebody called in to the wedding. Called somebody there. Told a person who that person was at a table with these people and told them. So I was like, are you serious? Yeah. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, I want you to get the exclusive, but this is happening right now and nobody knows. So I do a quick Google, I don't see it. I'm thinking, I got it. What? The story of the century.
Are you a little bit like, okay, let me try to...
Nope. Well, first it's like, you consider your source. This is a fucking prime, like this.
A+ source.
A++.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the source, is there potential that they would even have that kind of knowledge or access? Yes. Do they have history and relationship with this family? Yes. Okay. So so Google don't see nothing. I say, call Buckingham Palace. Ask them if the Queen has died.
What? Well, you tell your staff that?
Yeah.
I don't think they would just...
So Keisha, who you talked about, Keisha calls.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't confirm or deny that.
What?
What kind of answer is that? Now that right there is like I'm like, run with it. Where I fucked up, first of all, that shit was just crazy. Just to start with that, crazy, right? Where I fucked up was I said,
you think you're sitting on like this like $1 million lottery ticket right this point. It's burning a hole in your pocket.
Mind you, they called me and said Tristan Thompson sleeping with Jordan Woods. I ran with that and look at what happened. It was true, right?
Yeah.
Even though we'll say allegedly, but
you broke that shit?
Yeah. Like that was crazy.
Oh, you fucked up that whole situation.
Fuck that whole... No, but Chloe, I called her and we plotted. That's why she...
the only person who probably likes you for that is what's that name? Carl Anthony Towns, because he got her now.
And I like him for her, and I'm happy for them. And I know that, I've asked Jordan, I ran into Jordan at Puff's house. I'm like, I need to interview you. And she was like, you fucked up my life. I'm like, actually, no.
Yeah, she was a side chick. She's a main now.
See, stop calling people a side chick.
Is side chick an offensive
She wasn't
thing?
a side chick. She was living in Kylie's shadow. She was living in the backyard.
She was the side girl. Come on, yo.
You mean to the Kardashians?
Well, she was the side girl too. Like,
I see what you're saying with the book.
She was his side girl. Yo, Tristan's a wild boy. I gotta see, what do they see in Tristan?
I don't know. It's
not like he scored a bunch of
points. But
Tristan
met Chloe through Larsa. You know that, right?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were together, and then Larsa introduced Chloe to Tristan, and then then they went to Mexico together, and they were together.
Wait, what's Larsa's deal, by the way?
She's a Jordan.
I met her.
She's a Jordan.
Yo, one random day. LA's
I love
like,
Larsa.
Yo, one day, French brings me to a Richard Mille party. Which was, by the way, I felt so out of place.
French Montana?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck am I even doing? I don't got one of these. But I'm running to like Serena Williams Center and I see Larsa Pippen. I'm like, yo, she actually looks really good.
Yeah,
like,
she's great.
She does not look like, I don't even know how old she is.
She's a cool chick too. She's from Chicago. She's cool. Who were we talking about before though?
Oh, we're talking about why you said the Queen died.
Oh, okay, the Queen. Okay. So we can't confirm or deny. I think I'm sitting on the next biggest thing. So I'm like, run the story. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, run it.
Yeah.
Where I fucked up was the title, because they always, these big breaking ones, they'll send it to me for approving the title. This title said, the Queen was found dead.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Was found dead. Now that's what I was told.
Yeah.
But that's not how that should have been worded.
Yeah.
The Queen has reportedly died. It's been reported the Queen is dead. We contacted Buckingham Palace. They said that they can't confirm or deny. Sources said blah, blah. Could have did all that. We said the Queen was dead, found dead. I mean, I've never seen the internet go like that, ever.
From the moment you posted.
We went insane.
What's happening?
First, I get a call from Instagram. They're like... Instagram.
No, what do you mean Instagram?
Instagram.
Wait, Instagram calls you like, yo, hold on.
Instagram, yeah, because mind you, the whole world is now reporting on it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what's up?
What did they say? They said, what's up?
They're like,
they'll tell you, motherfucker, we about to get you the fuck on out of
here. They're like, we're going to have to label this, like, we're going to have to put a fact checking thing on this because this has not been verified anywhere. I'm like, I'm a credible news source. Like, do you do this with BBC?
You have this conversation with them on the phone.
Yes. So they're like, you have 7 days for this to like be legitimized or like it's gone. Like it's going to be a problem. I'm like, well, this is day one.
This day one.
So now I'm getting calls from everybody, from Politico, from BBC, from TMZ, from the Black. I mean, from China.
At any point, are you like, yo, I bit off?
No, I'm on vacation. You guys are fucking harassing me because I'm on vacation.
You got to cut your vacation.
Hold on, vacation's cut short now. So now we're on the phone. And I'm calling the source like, are you fucking sure? Because nigga, this shit is like a different type situation.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes. And like, it's emotional over there and all this and that. I'm like, okay. So I call.
So they're kind of giving you additional like, yo, they're crying over this bitch.
I call somebody who is close to Richard Branson. Richard Branson is in the mix over there with the niece. They call.
You just had that person in your Rolodex?
Yes.
Really?
So they call that person. They call over there, and the niece to the queen says, "I don't know anything about this, but all of the generals have been summoned to Buckingham Palace." Now, this was right as the war in Ukraine and Russia was starting up. Not a good time for the queen to be dead, right? So I don't know if they're being called over because of the queen, if they're being called over because of the war. But she just said, I've not heard that, but all of the generals are being summoned to Buckingham Palace. So now I'm confident. I doubled down.
Yeah.
Doubled down?
I remember.
Yo, double down was crazy.
Double
down was crazy.
Yo, I seen that and I was watching from afar. I'm like, yo, they're going for his head right. Yo, he's done after this. If this is not
double down was crazy. I had just did a big LA Times article with this black dude named Keenan. Shout out to Keenan, because he was covering me in Hollywood Unlocked, and the whole he had just did the whole brunch with Ye, and he had attended and was moved by him. So they were doing this whole front page story on me, and now they were like, we're gonna hold the article because we gotta see how this play out. So as this is all playing out, now I'm getting nervous, but I didn't double down, because now this is where I learned, don't let your ego get in. My ego was like, how the fuck I ain't never been wrong. I'm talking my shit on Twitter, and every tweet, my tweets like yours, your tweets become news. My tweets at the time were never news. Niggas, I would tweet whatever. Nobody give a fuck what Jason Lee was tweeting. Shut your gay ass up, nigga. Nigga, every tweet
is hitting.
Was bang. Variety, but like Vanity Fair, I'm like, oh shit.
Yo, the moment Variety start covering you, it's like,
they got it. And then white folks, their syndication is different. Like it moves through an ecosystem where they make sure every one of their partners gets that story. So Yahoo, 58 million.
Then you start seeing them contact like your personal email, like you're like, how the fuck you get this email? Because they'll be like, hey, could we either talk to you or is this?
Oh no, so they start all that, but I'm thinking like, and this is where I was naive. Then it started being like, Love and Hip Hop star. You ain't referenced me as Love and Hip Hop in years. You bitch, how dare you? Love and Hip Hop star kills the queen.
Don't credit for this bitch. Hell no.
So then it's like, how dare this nigga from Love and Hip Hop kill the beloved queen? Not the woman who took all these blood diamonds from these Africans and all that shit, and fucking Princess Diana. Hey, you talking about Lil Ice Spice's song, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, whatever. So now Black Twitter's going after me and all this and that. And finally, I tripled down.
Yo,
Akademiks.
Yo, can I ask this one question?
Triple down, crazy.
Yo, can I ask this one question?
Yeah.
Even, this gonna sound fucked up.
No, it's
even, okay, your mind is probably going crazy. Like, sleeping is probably a wrap for you, like all these days, right?
I was still going to the club and still outside.
Oh, okay. But are you thinking in your mind, if she didn't die, I hope she dies? So that's fucked up.
No. Let me answer that. Okay. Because this is somebody's grandma, right? And this is the queen. Did I want her to be dead? Nah. Hell no, I don't want nobody to be dead.
You want to be right?
I want to be right. I want to be right, because that's not something you want to be wrong. Because at this point now, it ain't like the Shade Room Ball Alert, you know, Chinese people are writing this in Chinese. You know what I mean? Like India, like all over the world is talking about this. But this one reporter from the BBC or somewhere hit me up like on some real nice, like, I know you're going through a lot. I can only imagine. And mind you, I'm on a yacht. They're fucking attacking me. And I'm on a yacht with Bobby Lights.
Yo, how you like
I'm on a yacht with Bobby
time?
Lights. Huh? Because the internet's not real to me. So it could be going crazy. I just look at it like, okay, like, that's crazy. I'm not moved by the internet saying I got to do anything. I don't have to respond. I'm going to do it when I want to do it. And at that point I felt like they were provoking me to respond. So I was like, I'm not responding. This one reporter got through to my email, but was like very much like, I want to help you. I give her an interview from the yacht. She twists it, turns into this whole crazy thing. So they create a fake Variety account saying a fake Hollywood Unlocked account. I'm sorry, my intern got it wrong. Variety turns that into a story where I agreed that it was wrong. So that's when I tripled down. Out of ego instead of like,
shit.
Yeah. And then, but here's
what I said the first 2 times, motherfuckers.
But here's the deal. Did you see her after I said she was dead? No.
What do you think she was dead though? No, she did show up.
A picture showed up.
I thought it was a picture from a video.
You want to see a picture from a Zoom I did last week? I mean, there's a picture of her meeting the new prime minister, but the new prime minister had already been sworn in weeks before. Like we can't be not. I'm not saying that the queen was or was not dead. I'm just saying.
When did she die officially? Or when was it announced?
Well, they said she died on Hollywood Unlocked first.
Well, you said she died first, but when did like CNN admit that she died?
Like 4 months later. But you didn't see her in those 4 months. But weren't Ukraine
life support or something?
Ukraine and Russia was going down. You mean to tell me it's just one day out the blue she died, and all of a sudden now here's all this procession and all this and that? Like one day she got COVID, like months she got COVID, and then she just dead. We ain't seen her. She ain't. No, like I don't know. I will say they said she didn't die.
What'd you think on the day that everybody started to really accept she died? Were you like, yo, fuck yes?
No, because Black Twitter flipped. Jason Lee Ben said this. We knew.
Oh, yeah, they flipped.
Y'all the same ones that drug me for filth. I literally just let it go. I didn't even respond, because I want to be respectful. That is somebody's grandma. That is the Queen of England and whatever. And honestly, like, I didn't feel like it was even safe to go to Europe for a while. Because I went to Paris, but I like stayed away from London. And I like London, but I was like, I'm not going to go.
Hey, that is... If we think about the biggest announcement ever been made through a media outlet.
Yeah.
So two that came to mind, and one that happened to be false. And I could imagine they were shitting bricks during that time. Remember when TMZ reports that Wayne is dead?
Right. But did Harvey get half of what I got? No.
Hell nah.
Never. It's crazy. I said, Wayne. I said Harvey killed Lil Wayne twice.
They were going on his batting average though. When TMZ reported that Michael Jackson was dead, I was in denial. I'm like, this is fucking false.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like a Instagram video of him moonwalking, like, nah, bitch, not yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like he actually.
Yeah.
So they had a reputation for that. I guess in terms of, I call what you do and I do new media. I think we're building these brands that over time, and that's what gets me excited, that we want to be our own just entity of, like, to me, CNN and like those are the old way to consume, and they're super like linear, and it's like analog compared to what we do in a digital
If we
age.
all didn't report what's on CNN, nobody would know what's on CNN.
Exactly.
In this day and era. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, how do we get to the credibility level?
Yeah.
Because again, if you report something that again is 100% factual, like I've reported things and it's like they won't really accept it as the truth until they see like everybody else report it.
They won't accept it as the truth until white people say it's true.
Yes.
And that's not because of anything other than the racism in media and the lack of respect for black media. And that's why I say all of you niggas out there in the culture who are complicit with that activity, because you only want to go talk to the white outlets, you only want to go talk to them. That's that house nigga mentality that makes it very difficult for us to be celebrated, therefore celebrate you. It's like this, we have this symbiotic thing. This is where we get to a point where like, that's why I respect what you do and what I do, regardless of how people don't like our deliveries or whatever. We all have a relationship with you. You're just choosing not to participate. So we can only engage you the way that we know how. If you go home to your wife every day who you have a relationship with and you decide how you going to interact with her however you want, you can't get mad when she reacts to you.
And by the way, I've seen this happen, and it was frustrating, right? Like, for example, I get a call from someone, Dirk was living in a particular part of Atlanta at the point, and they ran up in his house. There was a shootout. I get a call from like his neighbor, who's just a huge fan of
It was just like some niggas that didn't know him or they knew him.
Honestly, the full story about who those people were still hasn't really came out. But the police did investigate.
But it was like a home invasion or something?
It was, right? Now, here's the thing. Nobody had reported it. And I'm talking to this person and I'm like, he's giving me so much information. It's like, yo, first of all, nobody knows even Dirk lives there. By the way, I think it's some inside shit to be honest. Nobody even knew Dirk lived in that community. And I verified it. I say it on my stream or whatever. But I don't think I officially put out an article on it. But I'm saying it and everybody's just like, nah, see, you're just fucking lying or whatever. TMZ, I have a guy over there. Literally, I gave up my contacts that they could verify it.
And then it became their story.
Yeah.
No, they do that to me all the time.
As TMZ first broke.
Yeah.
What? You get lost in translation. Nobody knows that I was the one who actually was the...
And now if you go out and say, hey, that was my story, it's like, come on, that's pathetic. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what they say, right? Yeah. But like, when the Khloe Tristan thing happened, TMZ tried to take that as exclusive. I called Khloe, I go, you better fucking let them know. So she went under my post and verified that we broke it first. That's how we got all the credit.
Really?
Yeah, but I had to do that to get the credit.
Oh, at least you have a relationship with Khloe.
Not anymore.
Oh, you're not cool?
No, the way they use me to try to bury Jordan, are you crazy?
Oh, Jordan
Woods.
Really?
Yeah, that's why now when I see Jordan hanging out with Kylie, I'm like, do you know the intentionality of those people and how they all were like one unit to try to destroy you.
Those people are just Kris Jenner.
No, I wasn't talking to Kris. It was Kim and Kim Kardashian is like when Courtney recently did that clip where she said, you basically, everything is all about you with the social media. She's real. Kim only called everybody off from Jordan because she saw what was happening on social media as people were, Jada Pinkett and people were kind of like clapping back at the family, and they were catching hell for it. That's the only reason why they let it go. It's because social media was, Black Twitter was protecting Jordan. And then once they saw that, they were like, leave it alone.
That's so interesting because the perception of Kim Kardashian to me is like, even with her and Kanye, she comes across as, hey, I don't want the social media stuff. I'm just being a mom right now. Kanye's just embarrassing us. I wish he would stop.
Was that before or after she let her kid sit on Pete Davidson's lap as he drove around the neighborhood in a golf cart?
She does a really good job of it. She's a victim to me.
She's a masterful person. Her, Tracy Romulus, that whole family, they are masterful at social media. I think right now social media and the culture are getting exhausted with them. We're tired of keeping up with them. We're tired of keeping up with Caitlyn.
They got that Hulu check though that I heard is huge, right? 100 mil?
Yeah, but like, can Sexy Red get $100 million off her sex tape?
Well, I should just tweet that out though. Like, yo,
allegedly.
I'm mad that, well, obviously, I think a dude leaked that was hell. I'm not into revenge porn, but I was mad at Krishan Rock when she just get on OnlyFans and like break the record or some shit.
I just had Blueface on my show, which comes out next Friday. Him and Jay and Alexis. I was like, yo, the cremation of that whole sex tape y'all had, where she had the whole.
You had Blueface and Krishan Rock not too long ago too.
Yeah, but now I had to bring him back.
You.
Yeah, I like them too. I like them too. Very much. I told him, you guys are the most toxic people on earth right now.
They're making a killing in terms of just the social media attention and waves that they're creating. Do you kind of, you probably see these people when like there's ramifications, there's entertainment, and then, well, you guys are going to have a family. There's actually a child. There's going to be regular life that, it's not going to be cheered on by a bunch of people in the comment section. Do you kind of see that and be like, this is not sustainable?
I mean, I try not to have an opinion while I'm interviewing them because I'm tired of the train wreck like everybody else, but it's a train wreck that's unavoidable because they're dominating social media right now. Like, it's like when the whole Tekashi thing was going on. Do you want to post them? No. Do you have to post them? Yeah. Hey,
your relationship with Floyd. Did Floyd, so I always think like this. Like, for example, like Floyd, when he does interviews, especially about boxing, he gives only the fight hype, right? When he's doing an interview about culture and entrepreneurship, I see him more with you. I've seen more interviews with him than you. Then it's a rarity for, actually, I think he only been on the Breakfast Club once, and it's a rarity for you to see him on other platforms. Like, I think he was on Drink Champs once or whatever, but I've seen him with you a bunch. You're probably going to say no to this, but do you think that Floyd kind of gravitated towards you? Because I noticed something about big either rappers or just these huge celebrities. They'll sometimes gravitate to a social media personality or media personality to control the narrative a bit. And I think with Floyd, there was even a point, especially after the Breakfast Club thing, like he was getting a bad rap. 50 was going at him. And that's all different now, but I do think it starts with me watching him really just speaking with you and not being like, these gotcha moments. You know what I mean? Which I think you contribute to that.
Well,
What's your relationship?
I think as I was building Hollywood Unlocked and I got to know him and met him and we connected and all that, we like immediately, like the first meeting, I saw how smart he was in terms of like business. Like I said, how did the money team come out? He goes, I was Pretty Boy Floyd. We would go to this thing called Ustream, and every time we would go on Ustream, all the kids would be like, oh, the money team's here, the money team's here. So we created the money team, and then somebody had the money team website, so I bought it for $10,000, and then we built the money team, and then Pretty Boy Floyd, he was young, cocky, this and that. Then when my fighting style switched up and I became a promoter, I became the money team, and then TBE, I was the best ever because who wasn't going to tell me I was the best? And then when they started saying Pacquiao was the one that was going to beat me, I said he was going to be the last fighter I fight. I'm going to make them hate me with my whole career. Like his mindset was so crazy. And then when he put out the $40 million check, he was like, you can get that if you really focus. And I'll mentor you.
$40 million check?
He put out a $40 million check. I had never seen a check that big, ever.
Did you hold it?
Yeah, because I didn't look to the light, but I was trying to count all the zeros because there was so many fucking zeros and commas and periods. But then after I held that, this was literally the day after I was ready to quit the industry because I was tired of all the fuck shit, all the games, this and that. And he was like, yo, when I come to LA, we were in Vegas at his house. He said, when I come to LA, I'm gonna hit you up and just tell me where to go. Like, you know what I mean? Bring girls around. So I would bring all the baddest girls around and I would pick the clubs we go to. So people in LA started seeing like, yo, Jason is Floyd's guy because like he's calling up and setting him up and I would set Floyd up here and there. And then he would be like, yo, I'm going to go to Miami. You want to come to Miami? I go to Miami. And when everybody would go to bed, I would go to his room with his DJ, with security, and the girls, whatever. And I would sit there and he would tell stories. I would ask hella stories. So tell me about how you started. Listen to that story. A story could take 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes we'd be there 6 hours, listen to all these stories. And I would listen to the little things he would do and how he deal with the game. Like one thing he would say is, hey, I don't ever take endorsements because I don't ever want to be obligated to a motherfucker for shit. Don't never take no free money because ain't nothing free. Work hard for it. Be obsessed with what you want to do. Hard work, dedication, good team. So I would listen to him, but then I would also see him and Ray J fall out, him and 50 Cent fall out, him and all these different people. And what I noticed is he's such a caring person that lets
Is he a common denominator?
No, I think where he is a denominator is he's too fucking nice. I feel like when you get burnt, like I'm the type of person, when you burn me, I ain't getting burnt twice by it. Like that's, you said, now you just kind of put my guard up with everybody. Floyd not like that. He genuinely wants to.
People that's too nice that people take advantage of.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think of Floyd Mayweather getting taken advantage of because like, you know, I mean, I'll tell you a story. He had a chef doesn't get him because Floyd would take everybody on trips, spend lots of money, take everybody shopping, give everybody watches. That's just what he does as appreciation to his people. One chef would bring her sister around. Sister was a chef too. He let the sister cook in the strip club. The other chef cooked in the house. Well, the one in the house started feeling some type of way. They were lesbians. She went and did this whole interview with TMZ because she didn't get to go on a trip with us and said, oh, Floyd's homophobic. Floyd got the gayest nigga flying around with him on his jet, hanging out in the mix. Bringing
article.
Huh? Yeah. Did a whole interview. So I came forward and said, look, if he was homophobic, I wouldn't be over there. Like just because he Floyd, I'm not worried about that. So she ends up going away. The sister stays there working. The sister ends up going and allegedly steals bags and shit, like Louis bags and shit out of his house on camera. But it's like your sister took advantage of him. You didn't fire the sister. You let her keep her job, and then she came and took advantage of you. So it's like one of those things where, like, as an insider, I'm kind of like, why is he so generous to everybody, but y'all still take advantage of him? That's just, he has a big heart. That's who he is personally. So when I
people with that type of like, it's like, yeah, I know the exact personality type.
But it's crazy because
there's too forgiving.
But even when I would see like 50 going after Floyd and then I would fly to Vegas and then Floyd would pull up in the car months later and then 50's in the passenger seat. I'm like, I don't understand the relationship. Like they're like brothers who fight, but when they fight it's so loud that we're all consuming it.
And also 50 said the craziest thing about him. It's never really like vice versa like that.
Right, because Floyd don't go to the internet and do that. Floyd's whole mentality is killing with success. Like I ain't learned that part yet. I do try, but sometimes I still gotta get because it feels good to clap back. But I will say like I early on I just would soak up so much game from dude, and dude was so free with the game that he would saw me apply it, so he would support me like, oh, I'm gonna sponsor your podcast because that shit. After I did my interview, he was like, yo, the culture needs you because you don't give a fuck, and he likes that shit. But there does have to be a certain level of trust where like you're not gonna do gotcha. I don't do gotcha with Floyd. I say to him every interview, is there anything you don't want me to ask? He's like, ask whatever you want, and I literally ask everything I want. My first interview with him was like 6 hours. He answered every question. I was like, okay, I'm done. So I don't know. It's just I feel like people who like me. They like me because I'm real. Just like the people that like you, they respect you. Cause they may not like everything you say, but they respect you. He never calls and says, don't post what 50 said, or why'd you post what 50? He know I'm gonna post whatever is out there. It is what it is.
Those are the best relationships.
That's why I consider him a friend. He's a brother. Floyd's different. Floyd's the only one never try to control me, never pay me to do something, never pressure me. Remember when I did this? No, you better, or did you see this? I've called him the day his baby, the mother of his children died, literally died in her driveway with her kids in the house. I called him and he sat in the car and just cried. And I ain't gonna lie, this is the first time I said that. I mean, I cried too because I know I love him like a brother. My brother that got murdered, I feel a connection with Floyd like my brother. And to see him, this person who's never shows emotion, just sit there and cry and not have any words to say, I wanted him to know, like, I'm not here as a journalist. I'm here as like your friend. And this nigga was just like, yo, like, you know, and then this is while he's crying in the car to me and just saying he doesn't really understand how to move forward with this. everybody online is like, that's the woman that you went to jail for. Like, you don't even know that dynamic or that relationship. And is this the time? Yeah. So I have a certain level of compassion for people. I try to give it to everybody, but those that I know and that I'm like close to, like I feel for them, and I try to be balanced in how we like handle their situation.
Is Floyd a investor into the brand of Hollywood Unlocked, or just like the podcast?
He was a sponsor in the podcast. Now, I mean, we don't need his money. He doesn't buy advertising. And, you know, early on he would buy advertising. He would support in the way that he could get reciprocated value, but it was never like, you know, I'm gonna give you this money and control you, because he told me, like, don't take any free money. Like, make sure that if somebody is paying you, it's for the work that you do, your promotional stuff. And he was supportive like that.
Yeah, he's one of the relationships I've seen with you that I definitely think it's beneficial. I never see you put him in a negative light, and I always see he'll say things on your platform that, you know, I'll be like, yeah, I don't think we would have got that if he went somewhere else. Yeah. Right?
But I think also, like, he doesn't, like, I think he feels comfortable with me because I'm going to ask him the questions, but it's not a gotcha. It's like, you know it's coming. Like when he had Earl Hayes. Remember when Earl Hayes killed himself?
Yeah.
I mean, Earl Hayes was like our boy. Like, damn, like, you know, like, how do you even ask that question? You know, you open up the conversation, you let him tell a story. He told it. He got emotional. I navigated through it. I got all the details that I wanted to know, or the people wanted to know, and then we moved on. Like, I'm not going to set you up, because I really feel like when I built the relationship with Rihanna, it wasn't to get her baby photos. It's just, I love her to death, and I'm a fan. How's
that relationship though? Because like, you know, like everybody asks, like, yo, what the hell? What is she up to? Like I know she's in Barbados. She's like pretty much like this. She's almost like an imperial, like, you know,
ethical
figure.
creature. Yeah.
But I mean, we have so many questions about her. Wow, hey, what about this reggae album we heard?
We never talk about none of that. Never. I never ask her, and I don't ask her, and I don't care. Like I ain't gonna lie, when I first started hanging out with her, I said, look, if you never want me to talk about you, tell me right now, and I'll never talk about you. Like, you'll be the one that we never talk about. She was like, nah, I don't care. And she said stuff like, when I want to talk to my people, I go to Hollywood Unlocked, because you go talk to the people that talk to my people. My fans are yours, your fans are mine. Like, you know, she says shit like that out loud.
Why doesn't she put out music though, bro? You gotta ask, dog.
I mean, I love the fact that she's having her family. She's over $1 billion. She's contributed tons of music, tons of product. Like, enjoy your life. She's 35 years old. Like, I love the fact that she's enjoying her life. Huh?
Pretty young.
35?
Yeah.
If you have $1.6 billion, a family, and you hit every milestone in your career that you
but she's still considered like the epitome of even musical talent.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think there was
but she loves her fans though, and she knows they want the album, and I'm sure she's gonna do it.
Like, it's like a cup that I don't think is fully filled yet.
Yeah,
that she has still a little bit more.
But I think she feels that way too. I'm sure, and I'm sure she's gonna continue to do music and all that. I mean, it was great to see her at the Super Bowl. I didn't even know. People think I know everything about her. I didn't know she was pregnant. I found out that day.
Oh shit!
Like everybody else, people were Little Kim. Everybody was texting me like, "Is she pregnant?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at with the TV. I'm here at the Super Bowl, but I'm looking at what y'all looking at, and I'm not gonna go tweet, "Is she pregnant?" because they're gonna expect me to know. But at the same time, maybe she gained some weight. I didn't know she happened to be pregnant. And Rocky came to the box, Floyd's box, before it was revealed, and he didn't say nothing. But like, it's all love. I love that they respect me and trust me enough to know. Like, I knew the baby was a boy before the world knew, because she did tell me in France. She was like, "I'm having a boy," but she knew I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, I'm not gonna. The minute they say it was a boy, then I was like, okay.
Hey, you had this interview with Kanye.
Yeah.
Right when I think there was a lot of shit going on in this world. How does shit like that happen? And I remember watching that, and I was like, how does this motherfucker get this?
And people got mad because they like, why he talking to that nigga in hip hop? I am not hip hop. You're hip hop. Vlad's hip hop. I don't know this hip hop shit. Wack 100 did that.
Wack 100.
Wack 100. Heavy. Wack is a solid motherfucker. See, what people don't know about Wack, you know Wack. You're friends with Wack, right? Yeah. Wack is brilliant. He know how this internet shit work. He know how to go viral. He don't give a fuck.
He knows it. I think people buy into Wack is this tough dude and not realize he's also this spin master and also understands internet culture.
Smart businessman. He's fucking brilliant.
Usually people like him are too tough to understand internet.
Facts. And he gets it. And so I call Wack. I'm like, yo. So I tell Wack I'm opening a studio for people to come and record their podcast because I want to help the culture or whatever. So the day it opens, I'm literally sitting in the kitchen at the studio, like, how we market this bitch? Like, how do I go from the tea spiller or this to whatever to like, I have a studio for people to rent and start their dreams? Wack calls, he says, hey, nephew, hey nephew, when's that studio open? I'm like, it's open today. He was like, oh, I got somebody that need it. Hold on. He puts Kanye on the phone.
First time you talked to Kanye? No, right?
I had met him before I got into Sunday service, or I had been around and seen him. I've been trying to get to him because I wanted to interview and call John Monopoly, everybody, and it couldn't happen. But then he was like, hey, my cousins are in town and they need a place to use. Is it open tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, it's open tomorrow. Who is this? He was like, it's Kanye West. I'm like, fuck out of here for real. He's like, yeah. Can we talk about it? I'm like, well, when you want to talk about it? He's like, can you come to dinner in an hour? I'm like, yeah, where? Craig's. I go to dinner, Craig's, Wack and Kanye pull up, Wack sits me next to Kanye and sits at the end of the table. 4 hours, we vibing, talking. I'm listening to music. We, Julia Fox, everybody there. I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
It's real, ain't it?
The next day I call him, he gives me his number. The next day I call him, I say,
you think he was going to come through and do the interview?
I say, hey, no. The next day I call him and say, hey, does your cousin want to use the space? Yeah, I'm going to have her come over there. Boom. So I'm waiting. She don't come. Then he calls back and says, what you doing over there at the studio? I said, oh, Floyd is here right now. Evan Ross is here. They just came to check out the space. He was like, I want to go to dinner. I'm with Madonna. Do you want to go? I'm like, what Madonna? He was like, there's only one Madonna. We pull up. So we see Antonio Brown and ASAP outside. We all go inside and have dinner together. That's where that video came out of us all sitting up there. I'm like, yo, this is cancellation at its finest. That night he gets into a fight with the paparazzi, and then the next day he calls, he goes, when are you gonna be at the studio? I'm here, bro. He's like, yo, I apologize that I really didn't know who you were like that, but like, I understand in talking to Wack, like, you the nigga I need to talk to, so I'm gonna do an interview. I'm like, when? He was like, whenever. I'm like, okay, well, here's the address, just tell me when you're ready. So I go back to my meeting, an hour later, ding dong, he at the door. He's like, you ready? Ready? I'm like, let's go. And we did
it's
it.
It's like a fucking some movie shit, man.
It's crazy. But then after
That's why I miss out by not being on the West Coast, man. Ain't nobody over here on the East Coast.
Yes, they are.
Who?
Everybody over here.
Everybody over here, man.
No?
They ain't pulling up like that. There's not a scene. Like, there's a scene in LA
where they outside.
People are moving around. Here, it's like, there's pockets.
But that's why I try to be mixy, because at first I did kind of want to be in the mix, and like you run into people, you're like, oh, hey, like, if you go to a Michael Rubin party, every hip hop artist who's not going to do your show is going to be there.
Yeah.
Meek Mill is going to be there every party. Travis Scott, Lil Baby, Jay-Z, they're all going to be there. And I went, J Balvin, I went to every single person and said, you can come on my show. 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 They don't come. But then don't be mad when we talk about you, because I'm going to always say I gave you a chance, but you didn't want to come because you was too busy dick riding these white boys. Because being in a room with a billionaire don't make you a billionaire. You literally look like the help that tap dance back on plantations for these niggas. That's and nice. What you don't realize is that when shit goes down, when you fuck the bitch you're not supposed to, when that album comes that means everything because it's your sophomore album, and if you don't hit, you're out of here. When you know Drake is gonna go against you and you need that push, y'all know where it's gonna go active. Over here, me, but you don't come, and then you mad when we say, track number 7 was trash. Oh my God, not track number 7. Yeah, bitch, track number 7, 8-2.
Hey, would you do reality TV again?
I might be.
You're doing it.
I might be. I always said I would do it. No.
Oh, you can't do it.
No.
I can't see you scrap. Like Zeus is, I watch Zeus like it's like the Royal Rumble. Like straight fighting. It's like I can see you with a storyline like you a boss. I can't see you scrapping.
I will say this. I was with Lemuel the other day. We went out and I said, there's a show I want to do. I said, I want to do a judge show. Judge Jason, he presides over the mess on Zeus Network, and then ding, 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 they get to fighting. And he loved the idea, wants to do it, but my team was like, no. Because I have another thing that's coming soon. So
that'd be great.
Nah, it's something else. But
grabbing right there like a little courtroom thing.
But I told Lemuel, let's produce it together, because I know some other judges that would be great.
What reality show you doing? I kind of wanted to do a reality show. I've gone through personal drama that eventually made it to, I won't say all the blogs.
Yeah, when you and the girls were fighting and all that crazy. We posted that shit.
Hey, so I've thought, I'm like, I'm going through personal drama and trials and tribulation for free. For free. At least.
Get the bag. Yeah, absolutely.
I always be thinking about it, because I'm really be going through it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, maybe I should just have cameras going.
I would do reality TV again, because reality TV, if you have control over it, can show all sides of you. Yes, my job is messy. Yeah, you ain't walking around in mess all day long. I ain't walking around in mess. We ain't talking about this shit all day long. That's why I will say with you though, I'm like, how can you do it a lot? Like, no, I live it. You live it. I live it. You live it. But that's why you're so successful.
I wake up and breathe. I always tell people, I'm like, this is what I thrive off. Like I don't even have no side hobbies. Like there's no like, some people close to me recently, they were like, yo, because I had floated the idea of like a vacation. And
you don't go on vacation?
No. And so I pretty much canceled it. I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm like, yo, first of all, we're about to lock into the end of the year. I said that vacation idea that I had for last month, let's revisit it in January. And if January
I'm there too, though.
If January started looking a certain way, we're going to revisit that in April.
Okay. I don't agree with that. I do agree. Like take breaks, Q4, you got to take a break. Like Q4, Q4, there's no breaks. It's like right now, advertising dollars are the highest. Like this is the time to stream, content, like all the way to the first. I've already said, don't invite me nowhere. Don't call me. Don't come to my house. I'm locked the fuck in. I'm doing interview. So yes, but there does have to be work-life balance because I burnt the fuck out after 6 years of nonstop pressure. Got a numbers, billions, not enough views. Nigga, I thought I was going to lose my fucking mind. I couldn't even control my thoughts. I had to get in therapy. I had to start doing IV therapy. I had to start because I called Charlemagne. I think I was emotional. I was like, yo, I'm experiencing something I've never experienced. He was like, that's burnout. And once I started researching burnout, I started then, because I thought I was dying. I thought I was like losing my mind. I thought like, oh my God, this is how niggas like be snapping and Britney Spears and a little panty shit. This is where it starts, you know? So like,
I can't be dancing my underwear with a knife now.
that scaring the dogs and shit, you know? But I realized like I was suffering burnout, depression, anxiety. And I was like, yo, I'm burning myself out for an industry that doesn't even fucking care about me. Like, fuck that. I'm going to do what I need to do, but I'm going to I got breaks now. Nigga, I just took a month and a half off and I didn't give a fuck. If you think Jason Lee's show fell off, if you think the Jason Lee podcast fell off, fuck you, because guess what? Now I'm back and we're gonna burn the internet down for the next however many months and I'll take the time off again.
That's the great thing about like when you own your own shit, and this is the great part of like independent media, where it's like you get to kind of not only dictate your schedule, not only
it's pure freedom.
Yeah, it's complete freedom.
But you're obsessed with it. That's what. Yeah, but see, that's what Floyd said though. But look that's why you are who you are. That's why your voice matters. That's why your impact matters. That's why you can turn the dial any way you want.
Like for example, like the whole Drake and Joe Budden was going back and forth. You know, I dream about it. Then I wake up at 4 a.m. I swear, this is me every day. I wake up at 4 a.m. I check it, and then I'm like, yo, I can't go back to sleep because I'm like, yo, something's gonna happen. Then I put like a podcast talking about it. This is consumed me, but I enjoy it though. It's
but
like,
do you the podcast? Is that what you do on Twitch?
No. I'll just put anybody. I like hearing people just talk about the culture.
Okay.
So I'll put your shit on.
Oh, and listen to it.
And just listen to it
at 4 a.m.
Anytime, dog. Okay, like but I'm always wanting to hear new perspectives because honestly, like it's like life to me. It's not even work. It's just life.
But that's why, and this is what
I don't know if it's healthy, but
it's not healthy. Going. It's not healthy, but it's the obsession that's going to make you successful. That's the thing. Like everybody that wants what you got. Because there's a lot of people that'll say they admire you, but it's jealousy, right? It's jealousy woven in a compliment. Like I look at some people like now, like friends will call me and say, "Oh my God, how did you do this?" Or "How you do that?" No, bitch, I'm not. You want my course? It's mediamillionaires.com. Like I'm not about to train you on how to do this shit because I can give you the camera, the lens, the mic, the this that. But if you don't got that fucking hustle, where you're willing to say fuck everything but this, you're not gonna get there. The reason why I feel like, because I look at you, I'm like, yo. This nigga could turn the dial up at any moment. Like, and I know you know the influence and power you have. You know that, okay? And then I saw you beat me on the list at Complex too, by the way. But I thought that was an inside job. Fuck y'all, Complex. Anyway,
hey, listen.
You know, whatever. Number 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've been snubbed so much.
Yeah.
Like
Didn't
every
that feel
time
good,
I look
though?
at the it does. Yeah. When I look at the BET Awards, they'll be like best hip hop outlets. Carisha, please. I'm like,
hold on. And I love Carisha, but I'd be like, y'all fucking playing politics.
Yo,
not even put me in the conversation. Fuck y'all.
And that hurts a little bit.
But a white woman owns the BET, so it all makes sense. You know that.
Ain't Tyler Perry buying that shit?
He said no. But back to the thing, right? Like you being obsessed with it and live, breathe it. That's why you're in the top few names that's having the impact. People that want it or mad at it or jealous of it, you have to put in the fucking work and sacrifice. You have to be hated. You have to feel unappreciated, not thanked. You have to wake up every day and find the courage to do shit that you think everybody's gonna hate you for, and still, in spite of it all, be like, yo, I love this shit. That's some psychotic ass shit. But that's the difference between people who want it and people who get it. And you're making millions of dollars. People think that, you know, whether you wear Dior or not, you don't have it or you have it. They don't understand the fucking money in this shit. Like I've made more money to go from $100 in Instagram to a $50 million valued company to now being able to have extension. And now
you making that bread too, man. I heard about you.
No, I'm making money, but you're making money too. I know you're. No.
I'm chilling. Yeah, Jason, don't get me robbed out here.
I'm not pocket watching. I don't pocket watch.
Pocket watch. What?
Do you?
I look at. Hey, listen. I pocket watch. Angie, I pocket watch.
Angie getting the bag.
Robin, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting pocket watch.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I'm like, see what you getting over there. And it's nothing like, it's never jealousy or hate. It's more like even I remember I heard Adam went on, it was something
he made $1 million a month.
$1 million a month. And I was just like, damn, I got to start competing with this guy who's doing porn on the side. Like, I'm like, yo, how much hip hop I got to talk about to really get to that level?
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like, you know, like it's competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you're monetized on Facebook.
Oh, no, yeah.
And Snapchat and all that. Yeah, you making crazy money.
Listen, man.
You own, the real shit, he owns all the content. That's the other part. Now, I did a partnership with Revolt, and I have not told nobody this. The Jason Lee Show went to Revolt. That was after the Wendy Williams people wanted me to host.
You got that nice ass set. Who built that for you?
I built that.
Word?
That's my shit. I built it,
expensive, man.
Produce it myself, edit it myself, do my own PR. I have my own team, all that. We do everything. Revolt was is our distributor. What happened was when Wendy's people told me I wasn't big enough to do her show, I made it.
Told you that?
Yeah, they were like, we want you to host the Wendy show, and they told me all the week. I told them, okay, I'm gonna have Cardi here, Tiffany here, Mariah Carey here. They were like, who's gonna co-host with you because you're not big enough, you're not ready. And this white man told me that, so I was like, yo, I went back, built my own shit, called it Revolt. Did a deal, launched 22 episodes. But after 22 episodes, I was like, I did that to prove that I can do it, but I have my own audience. And so now I'm relaunching the show, season 2, on my own platforms.
That's the great thing about what we end up building. Like, for example, I don't want to call it, the first 2 years of this podcast was on Spotify.
Yeah.
Everything comes back to me. I own it completely.
Yeah.
And like my agents they're like, yo, we have these other deals ready. And I'm like, I'm building this brand, at least for right now. Let me keep like one of our main assets under the brand as we leverage to do other bigger things to the brand. It's not about every little deal for every little show.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like, you don't need Revolt or anything else for your show.
Right.
Your brand and your platform right now is big enough that you can launch whatever you want. And I think that's the dopest thing.
And that's where we are now, building out our fast channel, building out our distribution. Revolt was a phenomenal partner. I loved Otavio Puff. They were great to me. The money was great. The distribution was great. And we co-own the first 22 episodes, but I don't want to co-own anything anymore. I want to own it all. I did it. I proved myself. I've done what I've done. And now we're moving on. And I'm going to do some other stuff with Revolt. But I never felt like I need a network to do it. But I love that, like, they were pro-black media, I'm pro-black media, everything was aligned. But now I feel confident, like I have 6 million people in my ecosystem. I know how to get distribution, and now building out, we're working on our app, all kinds of different things. Like, it's just about distribution, and we already have it. So
I'm excited to see how you continue to build. I look at you as a peer in media, but I also look at you, and I hope you look likewise at me as we're in this independent media space, we're all trying to push the ball and kind of, because really these other places are really obsolete. Like, I look at some of these old antiquated websites, they're reporting what's written on blogs. Right. And then it's almost like when you do a Google search, their site's coming up, but they're quoting, as seen on Hollywood Unlocked.
No, let me tell you what they're doing. And that's funny that you said that.
SEO type of manipulation.
But what they'll do is they'll take an Akademiks post on Instagram, embed it in their site, link to your site where that matters. To say as seen on, but not even hyperlink to you. Nah. But what we're doing now is we're sending takedown notices. Bitch, take my shit down. I don't want to be as seen on that. Bitches, Jason Lee said, or Hollywood Unlocked said, or hyperlink me, or don't fucking do it, or I will do takedown DMCA notices. Like, you're not going to use my content. But I started seeing that. At first, I was happy that everybody was Yahoo, Vibe, Variety. No, but now I see what you're doing. You're using me and all our hard work for the content, and you're getting all the credit and traffic for it. So like now that's that new thing where like they don't have to hyperlink to your site if they put your Instagram post in there because they put your post. And then if you click that, it takes you to the Instagram. But ain't nobody clicking off a site to go to your Instagram.
Hey, did you ever get it? There was a time that like I remember when Shade Room was getting to the gladiator spot in like the blogosphere, them and Ball Alert was going at it.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously now Kyle left from there, got his own thing. Have you ever been in those like
I get along
wars?
with all of them.
Really?
I get along with Angie.
No beef?
I get along with Robin. When Nicki Minaj threatened to have Kyle, told all her barbs to report Kyle's page and get it taken down, I called Instagram, put them on the phone with Kyle, got him verified, got him as a managed partner over there, made sure he was good and set up, protected his Facebook. I was like, yo, the culture needs you too. I don't look at them as competitors. Robin checks on me every week. Robin will say, how are you? Good? How you feeling? Yo, I love your show. Like, that's what you do. And then Angie, if I ever need her, like I'm getting ready to launch this whole initiative that I'm gonna tell you about offline, like where I'm opening it up to everybody because there's a bag there too. She's like always available to me too. I don't get any beefs with any of these people. Like, do I think they all support me all the time like I would want them to? No, there's some that support me more than others, but I can't expect nobody to support me. Like, if you want to, great. If not, I'm gonna support you. I have an award show. I invite them all. I make sure they're all taken care of. It's not just on the carpet. I want you in the building too. Like next.
And I ain't get invited.
Yeah, just don't bring no hip hop shootout. You are ruthless.
Well, I must bring security, man. Like,
bring
I don't bring no drama. It's people don't like me for my opinions.
You spicy though. Yo, let me just say, we should do this. Let's take a photo when this is done. Before this comes out, just post a photo. The narrative is going to be crazy. They linked up to do this, and that.
We definitely linked up to
take down Nicki Minaj. Oh yeah, anti-barbs. Yeah, that terrorist group needs to be stopped.
You know what's so crazy about the barb? They've leaked everything of mine. Like, it's at the point where I think me and them, we've beefed for so long that this day they'll just be like, yo, bitch ass nigga, just keep it moving. Like,
no, but see, with me, they're not done yet. And so
they're not done yet.
No. So I actually did an interview with T.S. Madison, a trans talk show host, actress. Yeah, and so I did an interview with her, and she said, "Can you please stop?" I said, "Okay, I'm no longer trolling Nicki anymore. I'm not trolling the barbs because I realized my fight wasn't with Nicki; it had become with the barbs.
Yeah.
But then like she controls them, so like it's all of y'all. So I said I was gonna stop, and then here they go again. I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna say what I think. I think she's a great artist. I think she deserves a Grammy. I think she's a mean girl. And
are you hitting them with the Rico, man?
Oh yeah, I absolutely am waiting for. I got the email. Thank you for reminding me. Academics reminded me, so I need to email the DA. And absolutely. I think that if you're trying to have people killed, you should go to prison. That's called Rico, isn't it? Racketeering. So if she tried to get people threatened, I just read it. She threatened to have people come get you.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I was thinking. I was like, is this just tongue in cheek, or can you not in these days take anything as tongue in cheek? Or do you
I don't think you could take a direct. She just said, "I'm going to come get you," or whatever. That's a threat.
Until I seen them dudes like outside, in New York, and they were like, "Yo, plan your funeral." I'm like, "Oh, these guys are
that's
serious."
What triggered it for me. Like, it isn't even what. Do I think that Kenneth Petty wants to personally go and shoot Offset? Probably not. Yeah. But when you have a moment like that, and you have people that hang around, exacerbate, and then the fans get it, you could be walking down the street and I'm gonna tell you a story I never told nobody. I'm at the gay club, but I keep my security, armed security with me no matter where I go. Gay club, straight club, because the gay club be barbs. You never know. You know where it's going to happen. And then sometimes
they be more spicy.
Sometimes I have my jewelry on too. LA, they rob you, follow you home. So I always have my security, everybody armed. They follow, we have a whole thing. So I'm at the club and I'm like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm lit. Now I'll be at the club, sometimes I get lit. I'm lit.
How many shots in? What are you drinking?
We probably a bottle, Tito's, and
I've seen these little videos of you turning up. You look like you be having a good time.
I'm sober right now for the next 6 months, but yeah, we turns up. I'm lit off the Tito's. Right, I'm in line at the bathroom because I don't walk in crowd. I'm in line. These two guys are in line in front of me. They turn around. One guy goes, "Oh my God, Jason Lee, big fan of yours, bro. Love you." Woo. I'm like, "Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you." Now, mind you, they just see me. They don't see my two big ass security on the side. Maybe they thought they were club security.
Or maybe they were drunk or whatever.
Yeah, spicy homosexuals. Boy turns around and he says, "Yo, and keep Nicki Minaj's name out your fucking mouth."
Ooh.
So I
ran into one of them before. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. But it was like they were driving by.
This is my third one now.
I was walking in LA. They just put the window down. It's like, "Hey, the Academics." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, y'all?"
That was a fan.
Yeah, they was shouting.
Yeah. So I feel offended. I ain't gonna lie, I'm drunk. So I throw the whole drink in his face. It's a big old cup. I just throw the whole drink in his face. Like, nigga, who the fuck you talking to?
Yeah.
He goes to swing. My security guard catches him.
Yeah.
Beats him all into the bathroom. Beats him viciously into the bathroom. And I go and use the bathroom. I wash my hands. I go back and I start drinking again. I'm like, I don't ever want to start an altercation, but like y'all out here really getting your faces smashed in for your favorite artists who don't care about you.
Hey, that's what I'll say. I'm glad about, what you do and I do. Hey, listen, I know I talk shit, and you're very expressive in your opinion. Yeah. Yeah, we're not idiots. We know we're gonna have to pay for some security.
Of course. I mean,
it's and by the way, I always say, hey, listen, if you're not making no money, maybe you should start making enough money you can pay for security, because that's one thing you won't hear me complain
if you
about.
do this like this, meaning you just have opinions and you can't afford security, you outside, good luck. Because it's not even just the people that you're criticizing, it's the fans. It's the people that we live in an era where a video of Jason getting punched or Akademiks getting jumped is worth gold. Yeah. I mean, you just never know. But I tell people all the time, and I also have a concealed weapon permit. Sometimes I have my firearm on me. Don't never get caught slipping, because it's gonna be your funeral. I'm gonna go home. And I take my safety serious. You know, when I see you sometimes, I'm like, this nigga don't give. But I mean, I'm sure people look at me like that too. Like, yeah. Because when you're just in it and you're being honest and you're delivering it, you're not thinking, you're not trying to hurt nobody, and you're not trying to be mean. You're literally delivering it the way that people are sitting at home talking about it.
I always tell people, like, knowing, you know, I'm very cognizant of like my critiques or what I'm critiquing people about and what I say. I'm like, yo, people always be like, yo, you don't go outside the center. I said, listen, I'm only ever really cautious around rappers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go out all the time to places that rappers just never be at.
Right.
I'm there with regular folks, and they might bring something up or maybe light trolling, but no one's, like, for the most part, I'm not running into bars will fight for their favorite. Other than that, they might be like, yo, I don't like what you said that or whatever. And most times it's just for pictures. But if I'm gonna go around anywhere where a rapper is gonna be, I gotta go in like with the militia.
Oh, like, yeah, no.
Because you're gonna have 50 of your goons and then 10 armed security guards too.
So BET Hip Hop Awards, real story. They invited me. Oh, we give you camera seats, talent seats, this and that, whatever. I said, okay, I'm bringing all my security. No, you're not letting none of my security in the BET Hip Hop Awards. I won't be there. I won't be anywhere near there. I'm not even coming to speak on a panel that week. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when I'm in Atlanta, I have.
Wait, how many tickets they want to give you? No?
Two.
Oh, yeah, hell no.
Wait, two. No, and like, my security came and come in the building. BET Awards, true story. This year, BET Awards, they enticed me. Camera seats, whatever. You can come and you're gonna have camera seats. I said, okay, my security is gonna at least walk me to my seat, and then what? So I get there, fight to get my security in, and they told me I had front row talent seats. They had me in row K, sitting between Lil Boosie and Lil Mama. I was like, no, because these are people that we criticize. It's not a safe situation. So I left. I'm not going to be anywhere I'm not celebrated or feel safe. And if you want me there, you have to make sure it's there. But if I feel that way, if not, I'm out. I don't have a desire to be anywhere.
I'm glad you see. I take that precaution about, like, going out and
it doesn't make you a pussy. It makes you smart.
Listen, you know, I always see these comments and be like, damn, how he ain't been caught yet? And I'm like, yo, you can't win with the culture. Like, you know, at least people who want to see a train wreck, they just want to see something happen. Yeah. Right? And if something doesn't happen to you, like, even for me, they'll be like, oh, he just doesn't go out. Yeah, you might not see me in the rapper-esque places, but if you think I'm only in the house, it is what it is. Yeah. By the way, how'd you lose all that weight, man?
Oh, definitely. You
gotta put me on Ozempic, right?
No, I'm on semaglutide now, which is a part of Ozempic. It's a shot once a week. Yeah, no appetite. I went from 222 to 197. But when I started my weight loss journey, I was 323. Then I went and had surgery. I got the gastric sleeve, where they basically do small incisions in your stomach. They take your stomach, they cut it down, they put clamps around it, and then they cut off the excess stomach and staple it up. And then you have a new stomach. So, like, you literally go from a stomach that can take 6.5 cups of food to like 3 or 4 bites, you're full. I mean, now it's stretched a little bit, so I can eat probably 5 or 6 bites, but you know, it goes from portion control that you're supposed to have self-control over to where, like, you absolutely can't eat more than that now. Like, it won't allow you to. And then
is that healthy?
Yeah, very. I look healthy. I feel healthy. I mean, I wear oversized clothes or baggy clothes because I still like that look. Sometimes I wear tighter clothes, but it was less about what it looked like and more about, like, I was pre-diabetic, sleep apnea, inflammation. I couldn't lose weight naturally. Like, I was toxic as shit, and then I was becoming self-conscious. I was a big dude with all the confidence in the world, but when I couldn't lose it, like, I could do everything else. I could build a relationship with Rihanna. I can travel to Dubai. I could do all this and that, but I couldn't lose weight. I started getting self-conscious because I felt like I had lost control, and then on top of that, I was starting to teeter into areas where, like, I would have some healthcare issues. So I was like, you know what? I found some good doctors, started doing my research, and people started saying, like, don't get this surgery, don't get the surgery. Even my doctor said no, but I was like, you know what? I'll give myself a year and try. And then after stop drinking, eating healthy, sleeping more, working out, I still couldn't lose a pound. I'm like, fuck that. I went and had surgery. First 5 days, I lost 22.5 pounds. After that, I started changing my diet habits and then really focused on getting healthy. Then I started getting therapy. Charlamagne pushed me into therapy. I got into therapy. Then
that therapy shit work.
Fuck yeah. But the scary part is, now I don't want to say the scary part, but I think the one thing about therapy is when I be ready to go, my therapy kicks in. I'm like, you know what? Let me think about this. Let me think about that. Let me say, okay, I'm gonna approach this. Or I'll do a video and I'm like, I'm not gonna upload that. Like I got it out, but I'm not gonna upload it. You don't.
Well, first of all, I like that version of you.
I do too, but I also
I like when you cussing people out.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that reminds me, I'm like, I don't want to get in an argument with him. There's a few people I'm like, but it's entertaining though.
It is entertaining, but you know what? I want people to respect me, and I don't want people to be afraid of me. People are afraid of me, and that actually bothers me because I actually love. I have a heart. Like I really do care. Like I will say I don't love the industry like I used to because I see the side that we see now. You get into it because like you say you eat, but then like when you get in, you like, I was a fan of yours. And because I have an opinion as a fan, I have a platform. You're a fan with a larger voice. So that means because you use your voice to say what everybody's thinking, because I mean, there may be times where a lot of people say, I don't like academics for saying that. There's still a group of people that were thinking that. You know what I mean? Not like when King Von died, I literally watched that video of him dying, and I was like, I remember watching my brother die. So I approached that the way I would approach my brother. I tell my team like, yo, we not doing this or like cover it like this, because ultimately like you have in my opinion, have a much harder job than I do because you're dealing with a different element.
Yeah.
This is like you in a different world that like I take my hat off. You and Vlad. I'm
trying to change some perception though, because like even again with the article that was posted on your site today, I said something pretty good. I was just like, hey, listen, Sexy Red just needs to stop fucking with bums. Okay, she's down to earth. She should be able to do what she want, but she's fucking with some bum ass niggas with ankle monitors who belong in their mama's crib that they can't have sex with her or enjoy a personal moment without them pulling out their phone or trying to
for clout,
right? For clout.
But what's wrong? And somebody had a problem with that.
Well, I think Mariah the scientist.
She spoke out. Yeah,
and I guess just the very hearing my name from the TMZ report, it's just like, he need to mind his fucking business. But it's not probably what I said, because everybody agreed I didn't say nothing wrong. I think it's an overall perception of me, right? Where like I think on the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, Baller Alert, definitely the Neighborhood Talk, I think women feel like I'm anti-women. And the only thing
I think what did that for you was,
but the only thing that bubbles up there is when I'm speaking about a woman.
Which one? No, when you sided with Tori, I think hell yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because even though, me and Meg, we've had a journey where like she's never been on my show, and she says, I'll text her and invite her on or whatever. She's in her healing phase or whatever now. Like when she was going through what she was going through, that shit really broke her. Like for real, like on some real personal shit, like really broke her. And, I will say that when Tori was going through it, although I was being fair in how we were reporting it, Tori's team was trying to get me to put out all types of shit to throw the narrative in his direction. I was just like, I'm not doing that because she ain't giving me nothing, and you're giving me stuff. And I want to get to the truth. I want this nigga to have his day in court, and I want her to have her day in court. And once that's rules, then we'll talk about it. So I was trying to be fair the whole time. But like Tori's team was like, you want this exclusive, you better put this out. And I'm like, I don't know.
You're kind of right. I looked at it a little bit different, right? I looked at it as...
Do you think you were too hard on Meg?
I'll say yes. But I'm always going to say, I think the moment she personalized it, like I went 10 times harder.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just always go 10 times harder. But honestly, and for anybody who does like Meg, if I really had to explain like that whole time, and by the way, I've had from Hulu to everybody else who's trying to create a documentary, I've just kind of turned all those down in terms of they want to kind of recap the moment. When that happens, I've had a relationship with Tori. I've never talked to Meg, right? Honestly, it just, some people, and this is where like I think the audience might not know. They might think, oh, it's Benefits Act to do I'm the media. I'm going to cover it no matter what. Yeah. If you're thinking that this is a money-making play, I win either way.
And
just cover it.
And this is what I said in working with Kanye, because everybody's like, I can't believe you're working with him. Proximity changes perception. Mm-hmm. So I've been to Tory's home. I've never been to Meg's home. So you know what I mean?
So I'm speaking to people around Tory, not speaking to Meg. I'm seeing stuff come out. People around Tory are contextualizing it. Also, they're also explaining to me, hey, there's other elements at play. Hey, I'm a man who's accused of something. I can't really speak about it, but there are other evidence that exists that shows I should be given a opportunity,
right,
to at least, don't judge me initially. Like they're telling me like, yo, I can't get a song playlist anymore. I'm getting blackballed, right? And I just thought that just genuinely, not that particular situation, but just genuinely, hey, if I hear something about you and anybody else, and if I really don't know, and it's a lot of hearsay and rumors, I want to be able to step back to be like, yo, we're going to find out eventually, but let's give everybody a fair shake.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to lie, I took it personal and I got offended, not at Meg, but when people were even they were upset that I was like, you know what? I don't know. And I was like, I'm not going to just convict this guy. And by the way, again, I do have a relationship with him.
Well, in all fairness, NBC News wrote a story that was absolutely false. And there was a black writer over there that I forgot her name, but she had a really bad stutter problem. She interviewed me when I was in Dubai, asking me to comment on it. And I comment saying like, I don't know who did or didn't. Yeah. I have a relationship with both. In the story, she basically said that I was the one saying that Tory was innocent. I said, I never said that, but she did that. And so I had to tell Meg like, hey, I didn't say that. And I put the lady on blast. Like, this is not the conversation we had or whatever. But I do understand, like, once something gets out there and some people will either see a clip or see a headline and automatically believe it. If you come for me, I'm going to react to that. And then people can't digest that.
Here's a part where I think you covered from a different angle. Like I know you guys covered Jack Boy and I think his ex or his artist.
Who?
Jack Boy, the rapper. His artist came out saying that she was beat up, this and third, but she had some pictures of some really old whatever. So, anyway,
I don't even know.
Well, just in general, as someone who's running a company that controls the dissemination of information,
yeah,
and I, of course, want to believe anybody who's a victim, but we've also seen in situations where we jump the gun. Yeah. I'm making these gut calls even now, right? Like, for example, the Jack Boy situation. How do we cover this, right? Like, anytime you see a woman with pictures of any type of hurt, you want to, but then I hear him come out with another side that doesn't sound familiar to what she's saying. Do I just kind of post both, or do I pretty much kind of angle it a little way?
I think that we live in an era where Me Too was such a loud movement by women that in some respect was a real thing that was necessary. But then there's also men too, and men that are victims of abuse, men that are victim of rape from women, men who are molested by women at an early age. There's men who go through the same victimization, and then when you know people personally who go through somewhere they're accused of things that aren't true, you like, hold on, let me report a little bit more objective. Did he? There's nothing wrong with that, but to society, because how dare you question a woman? A woman wouldn't lie. No, a woman would lie. Emmett Till was killed by a white woman who lied and said that he raped her. The Central Park Five were wrongfully arrested because they said that they had raped or whatever a woman. So we know that there are cases out there. We only contextualize it that way when it's a black man versus a white girl. But the truth is that there are black women who make these allegations, Spanish women, Asian women, whatever. I mean, you look at Jonathan Majors, white women versus whatever. So, yeah, I think it's a tricky thing. I think it's anytime you give an opinion on something and you side one way or another, you're going to get heat.
I've started to notice I'm just kind of being more of a centrist. And I don't know if, usually I'm really strong opinion-wise on either side. Even, for example, especially when you know more information in the background than what you're even going to lead with. Even, for example, to me, the Javante Davis thing was disheartening, right?
Which one?
So Javante Davis was accused of punching his ex in the lip, right?
Yeah.
And body cam footage comes out this and third. She says to the police, yo, he beat me, right? Later on, obviously now the bag is in jeopardy. She comes out on social media. He never did it.
I remember that.
And then you almost kind of you're in this, you're in the sense of, hey, listen, if we jump out there, we're trying to defend you, but then you realize because you're getting back with this guy, which probably is a cycle of abuse, but whatever the case is, now you're saying whatever you said wasn't true.
Yeah.
Now we're like left on this. It's so weird with dealing with that. Like a lot of times, like even my comments about the Jack Boy thing was, hey, I hope the police, which I think they're involved now, could give me some actual evidentiary facts that I could make a strong comment on. Because the he said, she said stuff is just...
But celebrities and their girls have also learned how to weaponize our platforms in their fights.
That's what I'm trying to say.
In their fights. And so what I'll do is, if she, and I know Tank, she comes forward and says something, we'll put that up. He comes forward and says something, we'll put that up. An arrest is made, we'll put that up. He gets out, she retracts it, we'll put that up, and then I'll have an opinion.
But here's the thing, though. When you put out that he did something to her, that is amplified.
Of course.
80 times more than, oh, hey, me and the father of my child, we're going through things, but he didn't hit me. And
72% of our followers are women. And so they're going to share stories of other women being abused. And then that goes viral. Niggas in the hood ain't trying to hear that. They don't give a fuck. They're not posting nothing. So it's like women do drive the online gossip and what's shareable content. So like you start to cater content towards them. And then a poll may go up like, would you stay with your man if he abused you? Oh no, then their stories are in the comment. Now there's a community. You know what I mean?
That's what I've also realized in terms of audience. So like your audience skew the female side, right?
Yes.
So like they love the Aries, this and third. Like my followers,
don't you be talking shit about Ari too, right? You talk shit about Ari.
I like Ari.
I love Ari.
No, actually, no.
I love Ari.
No.
Didn't you say something? Didn't you say something that like? Well, didn't y'all get into it?
I think I'd called her
Ari.
like G Herbo's baby mama, and she was just like, motherfucker, if you're gonna talk about me, call me by my name.
Yeah.
And I was just like, a lot of my audience like will not understand who Ari is.
Yeah.
I frequent your page, so I know like
so they know
whatever.
when we talk about it.
But in reality, like there's a lot of people on my page that don't even understand that Krishan Rock is probably 10 times more popular than Blueface right now.
She has crazy following.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because I have a bunch of dudes who are rap fans, so they're like,
who is that?
Why are we talking about a woman who for all their intents and purposes, it's like we only know her because she's the mother of Jimbo's kid.
Yeah.
So I guess like, and by the way, I think my audience gives me the bad rap of like we're kind of like anti-woman, but it's just like it's the barbershop, dog.
Yeah.
It's the barbershop. Hey, anybody else you got beef with?
No, I don't even have beef with Nicki.
Yo, let's find somebody we mutually have beef with and ride on them, man.
Like who?
Tasha K. You don't like Tasha K.
Who?
Tasha K.
I don't know who that is.
The one who owes Cardi B $4 million. Are you suing her too or no?
Well,
she tried to lie on me and I was thinking about it, but I was like,
but she don't. What are you gonna sue her for? Air?
Shit, me and Cardi B will have to bust that down.
No, listen. I think at some point next, somebody should sue YouTube. Because YouTube at this point is complicit because you're providing a platform to somebody who has consistently and repeatedly shown that they were going to weaponize the platform to lie and destroy people's careers. So at some point, who's liable? I personally think YouTube should be sued, but I haven't gotten. If I sued her, I would end up suing her and YouTube.
And by the way, as much as I think she has a certain type of journalism, not my flavor, and I really don't wish ill will on her. I definitely hope she doesn't lie on people and try to keep some integrity there. But you see what you just said? That is true. Mm-hmm. I think if YouTube was involved in that, they're cutting their channel. YouTube don't want to be with you in court.
As soon as
you're
YouTube
demonetizing channels for less.
As soon as YouTube gets hit with $100 million libel suit because they're complicit with her in that, because she's toyed around with some things and said some things that like I could have sued her, but I was like, yo, let me see what Cardi does. Then when Cardi won, I was like, oh, there's no need to sue her. She lost everything. But now you allegedly hiding money. Now you attacking Joe and let me say this too. I believe Joe did the right thing in not platforming that fool, because like us talking about her now gives her some sick sense of credibility. She'll do a post about this. I got drunk in Mexico once. She posted a video up saying alleging I was on cocaine and heroin. I mean, that's why I was going to sue her for that too. But like, for what? Just, she's a fan. Let her talk.
Yo, she has the same rumors that she puts out about everybody. It's like media takeout a little bit.
Yeah.
I think she had said she interviewed some random girl that flew out one time, and she was like, all right, so when did he tell his drug guy to bring the coke?
Talking about who, you?
Yeah, and the girl herself was like, yeah, he didn't say that. You know what I mean? And then she's like, okay, but wasn't there a thing where he said he likes fingers in his ass? And the girl said, No, I never said that either. And it's like she was reaching for those type of things, and I was just like, come on, like, you know, I don't know. Anyway,
you know, God bless the dead, and I'll let the dead bury the dead. There's nothing good. Nothing good comes out of somebody who does this work with the intention of hurting people. Like, I may have hurt people with my opinions, or I may have hurt people with stories, but the intention was not to hurt them. It was to tell the truth. And if the truth hurts, that is a fact that truth does hurt. It's not always going to come wrapped in a bow like a birthday present. It's going to be hurtful at times because it's the truth. But when people learn how to live in their truth, work through their truth, and just accept the truth, and then, you know, own up to it, then it'll be fine, because the news passes every 15 minutes. Unless you just some fuck shit fighting the truth, because you're never going to win against the internet. I don't care who you are. I don't care you whoever. Unless you're Beyonce, this Beyonce's internet. Other than that, you're not going to win. You're just not.
I agree, man. What you got coming up with? I know you're on the Breakfast Club this week. You're doing a pretty good job. Would you take a hosting job full time there or no?
I don't think they would want to give me what I would want. I would want a lot of money.
Cut a bag over there,
if they cut a bag, hell yeah, I would do it only. I mean, it would have to have at least 7 figures for sure. At least $1 million. That's fair.
No, I think
$1 million for a year.
All the hosts definitely were getting.
They get more than that over there. Yeah. But I mean, they've earned it. They've been there for years. I mean, that's the only show I would do.
They gave you so you would relocate to the East
back
Coast?
And forth for sure. I would do it 4 days a week, go to LA for the weekend, do my show. Yeah, for sure. Of course. Hell yeah. I'm never going to take a job and not do my own shit.
No, not saying you wouldn't do your own shit. What I'm saying is that, but like, you're going to be required to be on the East Coast.
Wow. Monday through Thursday, leave Thursday night.
You like being over here? You seem like an LA guy, bro.
Nah. I love New York. I just got a place in Miami too. I like Miami. New York, I like New York. LA is home. Weather is my house.
How many cars you got?
2. It's only 2.
How many cars?
3. I'm modest.
Best car or most expensive car?
Sprinter. Mercedes Sprinter. I like it.
I know you flying them out. What's the most expensive gift? Most expensive gift you've ever given? Like, hey, this is down your alley, brother. The most expensive gift you've given to either a significant other or somebody you've been dealing with?
Oh, a significant other. I mean, I was in a relationship for 3 years where that person didn't work. So everything was a gift. Everything was a gift.
I got that one.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, most expensive thing recently, took somebody to fucking Beyonce concert. It was $5,000 a ticket.
What?
Hell yeah.
You could have got that gifted.
Yeah, but I don't like asking for favors because then you're obligated to people. I bought $45,000 worth of tickets to see Beyonce.
You bought?
I bought 4 in Atlanta, 4 in LA once, and 4 in Seattle.
That's like a box.
2 in Seattle.
Is that like a box?
No, it was like on stage, 4 tickets on stage both times, and then 2 tickets on stage at one, 4 tickets on stage at another, 4 tickets in the Club Renaissance. It was worth every penny.
Jesus Christ.
She fucking killed that shit.
Yo, who you think making the most money out here, man?
Rihanna.
No. I'm talking about the bloggers.
Oh, all of us?
Yeah.
I'm not
like it messy
pocket watching.
I love it, man.
I'm not pocket watching. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're all doing.
I seen Angie bought a house. I had to swipe up and I said, this shit looks amazing.
Oh, you've seen her house?
Well, I
Is it online?
I think she got me on her close friends or something.
Oh, really? I need to go look and see.
This shit looks fucking amazing.
I need to go over to Angie's house for lunch. Angie's getting the bag.
She looks like she's living a fantastic life.
Yeah, but Angie don't go outside. She hates going out. She's
really?
not. Yeah, I invite her to my birthday party. I invite her to my award show. She never comes. I'm like, yo, if you don't fucking come next time, I'm not fucking with you no more. I will, but I be threatening her. I love Angie. I want her to come out. She just don't want to go outside. Robin really don't come either, but she'll send her staff. They'll send their staff, but Kyle don't come. Matter of fact, he don't come. Fuck all y'all. I love
only outside person, man. Listen, we worried about getting hit in the head, man. We got to have more security than you. Been keeping it. Hey, let me tell you this. If I could give you a compliment, is that, honestly, when I first seen you and to now, I seen you put in so much work.
Thank you.
I seen you just grind. I seen either the team you hired, the people. Probably a lot of it's mostly you. I remember when you guys used to just be sending out, like, we used to get DMs on, hey, we did this interview. Hey, in case you want to share it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. To now, I think it's just you guys are you're on the short list of like probably 3 or 4 blogs that everybody has to check.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't happen without work, consistency, and obviously just being fucking good at what you do. And again, sometimes having a platform versus being a personality, or being both at the same time, having a platform and being a personality, really difficult to do. And you're one of the people, because that's what I strive to do.
Yeah.
You're one of the people absolutely killing.
Strive to do. You're fucking doing it.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean?
You're doing it. I ain't gonna lie. I was coming over here. I was like, yo, this is about to burn the internet. And I'm sure there's clips from this that for sure is gonna burn the internet, because they're gonna take it. You know, we live in a clip world.
Yeah.
People will see a clip and all of a sudden, like, the whole narrative is that, you know, he hates women. They say that about me too. I love women. I love and uplift women all day, but I'm not a fucking publicist. I'm not a fixer for you. I'm not your bitch. I'm not none of that. I don't owe you anything. All I owe is my audience my opinion. I give my audience my opinion. They eat that shit up, and sometimes my audience disagrees. And I look at it, and if I go too far left, and I've gone too far left, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I fucking went too far left, and I'll pull it back. But I mean, now I'm in a place where, like, I'm in therapy, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I got money, I'm successful. I don't feel like I need to compete with nobody. I'm enjoying life. Like, I'm chilling. And I want but the thing, I want everybody to get it. I want us all to win. Because ultimately, we honored Drink Champs at the award show last year, and they said, yo, if you don't come to hip hop media is where it's at, and if you don't come here, you go anywhere else, you're a bozo, which is true. You know, if you hate Akademiks, or you hate Hollywood Unlocked, or you hate Shade Room, or you hate all these platforms, we're not going away. And we're not going to be bought by the people who you think got all this money. Because once you lose your audience, once your audience knows you're co-opted, you're done. Like, that check is going to go away. Like, if Amazon came and said, here's $5 million. Now, I'm going to find a way to take that $5 million, but it's going to have to be in the way that I deliver on my terms.
Which you still having to say.
Absolutely. And one thing Caroline Wanga just said, we were at the Revolt World. She said something that I've been trying to address, but didn't have the real word. She goes, you know, when it comes to brands investing in people like you and I, like, black owned versus black targeted is a real thing. BET and VH1 and all these people that target black, you're not circulating money that closes that generational gap of wealth. We're black owned. So investing in us to get that same audience, don't not invest in them, but also share that money with us too, because we're getting your audience. We're the outliers that can say, hey, they're giving that money to white people to target black folks. That can happen too. And then now you in a whole other problem, you know? So I've been talking to brands lately too, like, you know, I'm about to go tell people that you're giving money to white people to talk to black people, right?
Yeah, listen, we gotta tell on a couple of these motherfuckers.
Facts.
But yo, man, yo, by the way, thank you for coming to do my podcast. I always wanted to get you on here. I knew it was going to be a great conversation.
Now you got to come on mine so I can flip the table.
Oh no, of course.
Whenever you're in LA.
Hey, no. Well, that's when we could really get into it, because I got a lot of shit going on.
Oh, facts. Whenever you're ready.
My next LA trip is going to be like next month. You're back and forth, right?
Yep, I'm there. I'll send you the dates tonight.
All right, we'll get something done, man. Anything else? Anything else people should look out for, or how to get up with you?
Yeah, if you know how to successfully get a RICO Act filed in the state of New York, please call me.
Yo, people, man, thank you for watching another episode of Off the Record Podcast, man. You are here with two of the top media personalities who also own two of the top media companies in the game.
And I'm going to tell Megan this time that you say you're sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, by the way, you know, as crazy as people think I am, you know, if me and Meg, and it doesn't have to be publicly, because I don't have to exploit none of these things publicly. I would definitely get on the phone with Megan and be like, or it could even be like, hey, let me explain to you how I was thinking. Because there's nothing I do that is just for shock or just for some, like, I always have in my mind, a legit, and we could agree to disagree. And sometimes I'll come around. Right?
I'm going to tell her you said it.
Oh yeah,
I gotta call her tonight, so I'm gonna tell her.
She's probably gonna be like, "Fuck that nigga."
I tried, Meg. I tried.
All right, people. Thank y'all for watching, man. Until next time, peace.
This was great.